we've been around each other a lot. Yeah, we got some history there.
Oh, y'all like really came up together.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I used to try to tackle this dude in high school. It was hard.
Yeah, good luck.
And like I said, Cole, we met at the inaugural event that we did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's great to bring you guys together. I thought that I'd start this conversation off and just contextualize it. And we want to talk about sustainability and the financial ethics of the industries that we in. You know, we all work in some form of entertainment. We're not activists like you know to the point like Chairman Fred or some of the other folks you heard from on the panels today. But I think that these two men also do their part, you know, and do their part in very very amazing ways, you know. But just starting it off, I got a general question for both of y'all. Like when y'all was coming up, how long did y'all expect to live? Like just in projections.
I expected to live a long time. I still, you know what I mean? Like, I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's a real question.
There was definitely the reality, the understanding of the reality, but I always felt, I mean, almost to a childish degree, I always felt protected, you know what I mean, and like blessed, and like even certain situations that would happen in the city is just like to a ignorant degree. I just would not practice to say, of course, you know when to run,
Nah,
you
bro,
know what I mean,
just
but
chill out
these
right
times
now.
when it's
Just
just like,
vibing, bro.
I just was
I appreciate the
so
invite, though.
intrigued, you know what I mean, and like
If I get up,
but to get to your
later,
questions,
I'll
like
definitely pop up,
I always
but
expected
right now,
to
nah,
live,
just chilling,
or at least
bro.
hope,
I ain't
you know what I
feeling
mean,
too well, so.
but I understand the reality of what you're talking about.
It's a real question. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, for me, it was just, you know, I'm talking about where I was from. They stressed to us that you'd be dead or in jail by 18. So making it to 21 was like an accomplishment. And I mean, that was whether you graduated or didn't. Just that was like a milestone, you know, coming from where I'm from. But overall, like after seeing and witnessing a lot of the shit that I did, I mean, it wasn't promising. So when you look at it like that, I mean, shit, you just hope for another day.
So my question is, like, both of you guys have had like sustained careers. You know what I mean? Like y'all in y'all respective fields, y'all experienced that moment where y'all blew up. You know what I mean? And for a lot of reasons, you guys have been able to sustain it. You know, can you talk about some of the ways that you've been able to do that?
Sustaining which part? You mean the
Just
success
your
wise?
career, success wise, yeah.
I think just thinking ahead. I think that even back to your original conversation, your original questions, like I just always am thinking ahead. Now that I'm a little older, it's funny because when you check off all these boxes as you get older, if you blessed enough to like have the success that you want, just kind of run out of boxes. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And I need new boxes to check. But I think just always thinking ahead is how you sustained it. I think a lot of people, even I could just imagine in your profession, because I know how it is in basketball, it's like some people want to be great and be the greatest. So their mind state is different. Some people just want to make the league. That's the highest they can see. And don't get it twisted, that's high. Like, you make the league, you already miles ahead and accomplish something that so many people want to accomplish. But for some people, that's as high as they saw. So when they got there, the work ethic slowed down, the decision making got a little shaky because they accomplished everything that they wanted to accomplish. I just always was seeing past that. So when I got a record deal, everybody was like, "Oh my God, you signed to Jay-Z. Oh my God, congrats!" I'm looking at that bank account, and I'm looking at and more than that, I'm looking at what I haven't done, and I'm like, I'm barely celebrating this. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like sustainability comes from like looking ahead. You know what I mean? Like, and not being and being very clear on what you want. Right. Do you want to make the league? That's a great goal. But is that as far as you want to get, or do you want to be one of the GOATs? You know what I mean? That's a different type of mentality, I think.
Right.
And then I think for me, it was just more so like just never getting content. You know what I mean? I got this little thing that I live by. Like every day I wake up, I try to maximize and live that day to the fullest. So every day is like a new challenge for me, and you know, it gives me another opportunity to go ahead and accomplish something that I didn't accomplish the day before. And I mean, it comes down to like little silly stuff that I'll do to myself. Like I like biting my fingernails, and if I could go a whole day without biting my fingernails, then I feel like I accomplished something. Right. So then when I put something bigger into into my world, you know, and going to try and accomplish that, it give me something to go in, you know, put my mind to it. And it's like once I set my mind on something and I lock in and I'm focused, it's nothing that could stop me. And the only thing that could do that is me. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm not finna get in my way and stop at some shit that I want. So that's mainly how I continue to, you know, just to strive and, you know, I say like not get content.
So both of y'all have found ways to raise the conversations around social issues that you're passionate about or that are affecting you guys through your actual work. You know, I think about Cole when you went on tour. You know, dressed in clothes that people associate with people who are disenfranchised through the mass incarceration system. You know, I wanted to tell me a little bit about that decision and how you how you work to give a voice to these issues through your art.
Well, that was like my homeboy Adam, who came through the night, gave me the new Jim Crow. He gave me that book in like maybe like 2015 or something. And it was mind blowing. It was like everything we saw and see, but just put into factual evidence of what was happening. And it happened to coincide with a time, it was after Forest Hill Drive album, with a time in my life where I was just tired of like rapping by myself. You know what I mean? Like so much of my career, my art was like storytelling from my own perspective. I always would give you like little branches of somebody else's perspective, but so much of it was like my personal journey, my personal growth, my personal flaws, this, that, and the third. And it was a time period when I was like, that was not interesting to me. What was interesting was like I had just moved back home, like from New York back to Carolina, and it was like I had a whole different perspective of the landscape and some of my friends and the situations that the revolving door like had some of them in. And I'm just like, oh man. So that tour was a product of that album, which was a product of that book and just a desire to like, okay, let me use this platform to tell these stories, you know what I mean? And that's it. I don't even, you know, I don't take it for nothing. I don't look at it like it was some type of heroic thing, you know what I mean? Like I look at it like, nah, it's people that actually like really devoting their lives to like to this. It was just my one little piece to the equation.
That's what's up. And Sean, I know you. You know what I mean? I know how much stuff you do at home for the youth and for families. I know how you take care of your own family. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of stuff that everybody doesn't see. But can you talk about like some of the ways and some of the reasons why you give voices to certain things, whether it's shouting out where you're from or you know, even your last time you took the podium, you know, like you kind of got the whole sports world wondering if they'll ever see you on the podium again in that capacity, you know. But you talked about, you know, financial responsibility, you know what I mean, and how the system is kind of stacked against people that work in your industry. You want to talk about like how you get the inspiration for that?
Well, I mean, it probably came from what I started getting into was into these football camps, and you know, I was just doing them locally at home, and I figured out that I was only being able to touch the kids from my neighborhood, so I hooked up with this group, and they took me to Brazil, and we did a football camp in Brazil, and when I had got over there, the kids was like, you know, bestia, 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 and I was like, what the hell is that? And it was, you know, they was calling me beast, and I'm all the way in Brazil, and I'm like, oh, these kids know, you know what I mean, they know what's up. And then I started looking around, and, you know, and I'm like, damn, you know what? They hood's a little bit more gutter than mine. And you know, but they was really getting down. And I mean, even though it was a language barrier between us, the kids was following instructions better than how some of the kids at home do. So what I did was I started to go on this, like every year I go to a new country and I hold a football camp. And, you know, I went over to Africa, over in Ghana, no, Nairobi, excuse me, Nairobi. And I did a watering system for a whole community out there. So to see the appreciation that, you know, that they had for me, it started to make me think outside the box. Like, well, I know my reach is a lot bigger than, you know, just Oakland. And why I'm so proud and why I represent where I'm from is because I've never seen somebody from Oakland go and do, you know, some of the shit that I did. So when I go out there and I put my stamp on it, it's like, you know what, somebody from Oakland came over here and did this. So we do have some people in Oakland that's about that life, and we'll get down in the trenches of where it's at. But I mean, you know, that was a big part of why, you know what I mean, why I really started to, you know, step up and look at things outside the box. And you feel me, we got a saying like, you know, my vision was only as far as the 580 and 880, and those freeways is basically a box. And I mean, I never left that box until I got my opportunity to go and visit a college. I flew to Oregon, and I was like, well, you know, I found out it was more outside the 580 and the 880, so I wanted to touch it. I wanted to explore it. So, I mean, you know, I just really got on it, and then when I got outside of it and I started to see that it was more than what, you know, what I've been seeing for the last, 18 years, I got hungry for more. So, I mean, you know, I just started exploring as much as I can. And as I went out there, I started to see that it was more like-minded people. And then, I mean, even within that box, you got people like you, you know, Dame. So, you know, it was a good feeling, and I just kept chasing that.
So, I mean, we all work in industries that are known to have a history of being exploitative. You know what I mean? Whether it's exploitative towards women, disenfranchised people. You know what I'm saying? People of color. I wonder like how you guys feel about that. You know what I mean? I look at the music industry, for instance. You know what I mean? And it's known that at the top of the few labels that there are, you know what I mean, or the top of the few streaming platforms that there are, you know, it tends to be, you know, white male dominated, you know, and you see musicians that are young and black and sometimes not getting the help that they need, you know what I mean, and losing their lives at a young age or being hot, taking predatory deals. I've seen you talk, like make reference to that, but I ask, like, you know, what are your feelings on it, and how do you buck up against that system?
That's a good question. Because it's one that's decades deep, you know what I mean? And me personally, what do? I just try to, as much as I can, educate on a personal level. When somebody opens up, or like when I probe and get somebody to like maybe open up about their business, or like to your question about deals, like I'll set them up with a lawyer that I actually trust. Like, all right, you need to go see this guy, see if he can work something out over there. But like, in terms of how do you change that, boy, yeah, we would have to be, you know, this would be a much bigger discussion because it's exploitive on. It's so exploitive we end up exploiting ourselves. You know what I mean? Like that's how deep it is, which I feel conflicted about because on one way I'm like, man, it's like this young man is getting, you know, he's changing his life, his family's life, you know what I mean? And on the other side, I see the real results in the streets and back home, and not necessarily this guy resulted in this, but just right. the stuff we have normalized, right. Like what it's become. I remember thinking like, very recently, I'm like, black people don't do heroin. You know what I mean? I remember growing up feeling like that, like, oh nah, like that's a white, that's a white drug. Like, I never had no experiences with that. And it's like, come to find out, it's like, a lot of these younger rappers like have caught themselves like, unfortunately, being like addicted to Percocets, you know what I mean, and lean, which is like, that's a conversation in its own. That's something that they going through, and they own. That's hard to get out of, you know what I mean. But you a rapper, you can get it. You can always get it. I'm now starting to see the results of people back home that can't get it. So they was on it, they was doing it, they was popping the perks, they was sipping the lean, but it's like, and then once they got addicted, it's not easy to get everywhere. Everybody's not rappers, so it's like, you hit a certain point where you can't get it, but your body is already fully addicted. And if you don't feed it what it's craving, you about to go through hell. You know what I mean? So it's like, to avoid that hell, I'm starting to see like, oh my gosh, like kids I grew up with getting the thing that is available, which is heroin. It's like, so it's like, nobody's out here rapping about heroin. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool yet.
Right.
But the real consequence of us normalizing perks and lean, it's not a judgment, you know what I mean, at all. You know what I mean? It's just a reality. The real life consequence, I feel like, is like, I see it.
Do you feel like, I mean, is it like ethically, like, you're not a music executive, you know what I'm saying? I've met some, but like, do you think it's ethical for like companies to sign kids that rap about addiction, that people know they're addicted, to reap benefits off their music and not get them help?
Well, the clear answer is no, but the next answer is capitalism. So is capitalism ethical? How much responsibility and ethics can you expect a nameless, a faceless, soulless company to have where nobody's accountable? So a company can commit unethical, can do unethical things and even commit a crime, and there's nobody has to stand for that. Coke don't gotta stand for nothing. Universal Music don't gotta stand for nothing. Delta Airlines don't gotta stand for nothing. So it's like, the answer is no, it's not ethical, but then you get into a deeper capitalism conversation, which is like, well, when you're in capitalism, it's damn near like anything goes, you know what I mean? So like, I think it's a deeper conversation.
Yeah, far right back on us, let's just say, yeah, so just turning to you, Sean, like I played football from the time I was 7 to the time I was 21. One of my last seasons I played, y'all, like at Cal. And just doing regular everyday stuff, my body feel like I'm 60. You know what I'm saying? Just from that time playing. And most of that time I was playing for free. The last 4 years I had a college scholarship, which was probably less than a minimum wage job, and you've played for how many years, bro?
I got 13 in the league, 3 in college.
And then how many are Pop Warner?
Yeah, all together, we just gonna put it. I've been playing football for my entire life.
So, and this is also an industry similar to in the NFL there are no black owners.
No.
And I watch you and my other homies play, and I see a lot of black people and poor white people. You know what I'm saying? Mostly black folks.
Right.
How do you feel about that? How do the players talk about that?
Man, to be honest, it's a tough situation because you got to think your whole life you've been playing football, for that moment to go ahead and to play in the NFL, and then when you get there, all the executives, the owners, they all white, and it get to a point where in order to fit in, you got to learn how to I guess it's called code switching or something, where you got to not be yourself in order to fit in, and I'll say to stick around. And then, I mean, you know, you don't get too many, you know, athletes that actually go into it with the mindset that they're going to be able to continue to be themselves and give the game back to, you know, the younger athletes in order to start a change and to start something differently. Because most people say, you know, it's about getting your money in. At that time, getting your money mean just go out there, play football, and shut up. So if you think outside the box, you tend to shorten your career or not get your career started. And, you know, after, you know, chasing that career, you know, after, you know, putting in all the time in order to get to the NFL, you kind of don't do nothing else. So therefore, it leaves you in a position where your whole life you've been trying to get to this point, and now that you're there, you don't make it, you have nothing to fall back on. And I mean, that's probably like 90% of the lead. So if you do get in the lead and you do have let's say a 5-year career, you know, that's another 5 years in which you put onto your life where you have not thought about what you're gonna do when it's over. So it kind of mess you up in the head, and you gotta reprogram yourself into thinking something differently. And when you don't have a goal, like, oh, I'm gonna reach the NFL, it drains you and it puts you in a different position. So after you've been going for this job to get in the NFL, and people telling you to code switch, and then when you get into code switching and then that don't work out for you, and now you gotta go back and find yourself, you chasing your own tail. You fighting demons within yourself, and it's hard to get out of that because nobody has broke the cycle to understand that. We talk about it all the time, it's like a backup plan, but when you see the NFL is so promising and you see all the glamour behind it, you don't think about that. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you watch what's going on. It's not that they don't give a fuck about you. So as long as you go ahead and put in the time and the effort, and the way I see it, what they call it, the 15 seconds of fame, that they be able to, you know, to shine on, that's another win in their book. You know, for them, you get your 15 seconds and then, you know, you pass through the pipeline again. When I first got to Seattle in 2010, we had a transaction of 275 players that came in and out of there within 1 year. Only 53 people could be on the team at a time. And we had 275 players that came in and went out. And at the end of the day, I'm just thinking in my mind, like, where are those 275 players at now?
How many of them was black, Lance, if you don't mind me asking?
200,
I'm curious.
275. Man, I mean, you know.
How many of them was black, Lance, if you don't mind me asking?
200,
I'm curious.
275. Man, I mean, you know, it's a hard. I mean, you know, it's hurtful because you come in there one day like, hey, what's up, boy? How you doing, man? And then the next day you come in there like, hey, he's nowhere to be found. So, you know what I mean? It's a hard game. But then at the end of the day, like, you know, like I said, with 13 years in the league, I had to look back at that and I had to say, like, oh, that's business. Because that's what they put it off to us as. Like, that's business.
Or capitalism. like
yeah.
Carl said.
Exactly.
I just, yeah. So I just want to wrap, like, just sitting with y'all, talking to y'all is a trip, like, because, you know, we got so much more. I've never been to North Carolina, man. I'm gonna come visit you. I'm gonna make that trip.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah, and the Carolinas is interesting because technically they say that everybody's, you know, if you're African of African descent, you know what I mean? Like, chances are they came through that Charleston port. You know what I mean? Somebody in your line, but I just really trip off how similar, you know what I mean, the vibe is where we from. We from 3,000 miles away from you. You know what I mean? And the stories and you know, I want to just talk about because you work in an industry where you know you can't get paid legally, like with your market price, until you are nearly 20 years old, essentially. You know what I mean? And in music, I see young kids signing deals. You know what I mean? Like you could post something to Spotify and self-publish and get your money if you can go pro at any age. You know, I remember when we played, bro. We was down the street from where we grew up. 68,000 people came to watch us play, bro. And we was a garbage team in comparison to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was the loudest.
Man, y'all don't let him fool you, man. This dude was a hell of an athlete, man. Don't let him fool you. Sitting up here like, and a little short before you get into it, like, he got me kicked out and suspended of a game because he cussed me out, by the way. So y'all don't. This dude was a demon on that field, by the way. So I heard he was a demon on the court, but this dude was in DB. He was a demon on the field. So y'all don't let him fool y'all like he was just an average Joe.
Bro, you came off the couch and jumped over NFL players and scored a touchdown, bro. I'm done with you, man. Anyway, like, what's the biggest concert you performed at?
I don't know. It had to be one of the festivals, like, they do festivals overseas or even in the States. You might have, I don't know. I remember one time, since then, it's funny because I know I've done bigger, but nothing I've done felt as big because where I was at the time, I came out on stage with Jay, and he was at Wireless Festival in London. It was my first time over there in London, and somebody told me, it's 80,000 people out there. Now, mind you, as I got older and then I would headline it myself, I realized, like, damn, they was exaggerating. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't no 80, but it felt like, I'm going to just call it 80, because when I walked out on stage as nobody, you know what I mean? Like, maybe, 1% of that audience might have knew who I was, less than that. Yeah. But if it was a sea of people, it just never ended, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I've done more than that, but that's the one that felt like, yo, I ain't got no business being out here right now. I came out to do one verse.
Yeah, no, I think about like I'm thinking about that just because of like the financial things that we comfortable with, not comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? And when we played in front of 68,000 people, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my school, we went back to playing in front of like small numbers. Y'all did 68,000 at least every week, and nobody got paid, right? Nope. Like if I was to tell you, you're gonna do a tour with 10 stops. 68,000 people minimum at each tour coming to see you, chant your name, dress up like you, but you're not gonna get a dime.
And as long as if I end up paid on the back end, I probably ain't gonna feel no way. It's gonna be like, yeah, man, you gotta pay your dues, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. If I don't end up paid, I'm gonna feel the way. You know what I mean? Like, I say that to say, even in music, there is a level of
You give yourself up a little bit for hope later.
Yeah, because I walked out on that Jay. I opened up for Jay-Z. I might have got paid. I don't even want to say the number because people gonna take it the wrong way as if he did me away. He didn't. This is how it works. Yeah. I was attracting no tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you pay your dues.
I got paid peanuts. You know what I mean? Barely. But I had to pay my dues. You know what I mean? So like, but yeah, I mean, that's not the same situation. What you talking about is different. Like. Yeah. Everybody's here to see these young men on this field, even with college. It's like, to your point, yes, this is slavery. What we talking about, man? Like, this is like kids are working for free. You know what I mean? That's it. And nowhere else will we allow that to happen.
And I mean, Lynch, bro, like, I'm curiosity, because we wasn't talking a whole lot at that era. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. But how much did you go through in them 3 years of college? How much did your family go through that your financial situation could have helped and prevented?
Man, to be honest, it was I mean, it was tough, but I mean, at the same time, because I was, 5 minutes down the street from the crib, so, I mean, I could get to the house, and then, I mean, around that time, being fresh out of high school and still being at home with you know, a similar situation. Like I didn't have to stay in no dorms or whatever because
Right.
I was at home. So, I mean, they give us like 1,200 a semester or whatever, and you supposed to rock with that or whatever. But for the most part, like, I mean, I was able to still juke while I was in college because I was still at home. And then, I mean, everybody in college was like, they all, you talk about these drugs, they all wanted them drugs, all of the white people on campus. So, I tell my folks, like, hey, they want something, so, and then I was like, shit, yeah. So, I mean, I was able to do something like that, but I mean, it would, I feel a little, indifferent to the getting paid in college, only because, I've been in the league for 13 years and I seen what a rookie would do coming into the league and how, they just not mentally ready for, what comes with, having some money in your pocket. And I think, in college, if they was to pay players, like, you can't just give these young men this money without no guidance on how to spend money. And I mean, I'm 33 now, and one of my biggest things was, like, I still learn till this day, but I won't say I had a problem, but I'm somebody that like to ask questions. So I ask financial teams, like, how do you spend money? Like, I got all this, how do I spend it though? Like, yeah, I know to take money out of my pocket and give it to them, but how do I spend money the proper way? And I mean, I didn't get to learn that till I was like 28 or 29. And I mean, when you go ahead and you give these young kids money without no guidance behind it,
Right.
It's like a loose cannon.
Right.
Do I think they should get paid? Hell yeah, I believe that they should get paid. But I also think that when you pay them, it should come with with a manual, like, okay, this how you go ahead and you spend your money though.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I
And
feel
it sounded like you could have used one in the league when you first got there.
oh, most definitely. But see though, I had something
Que
I had
pasa,
something
güey?
that was better than that.
Okay.
Manual. I had turf
Yeah, bro.
meals, red hot
Watching the
burritos,
podcast.
tater chips, and
How you
sodas.
doing, man?
So I remembered
Appreciate
eating
you
that
stopping by the stream by
all
the way.
day,
We
every
chilling
day,
here.
and was
We
like,
chilling.
I don't want to eat that shit no more. So if I gotta keep my money in my pocket in order not to eat turf meals no more, I'ma hold on to this money until I figure out how to spend it the right way. So that was my manual. That was my guide. Like, hell no, I've been broke. I'm not about to be broke again. So whatever it's gonna take for me not to be broke again, that's what I'm gonna do until I get the game plan on how not to be broke again.
Hey, Shannon, we got to wrap up. Man, any thoughts y'all want to leave? You want to leave them with Cole or?
Nah, bro. If you throw a question at me, I got you. But I'm just enjoying the
I mean,
conversation.
what's
I appreciate
MLK's legacy mean to you, real quick?
Man, I mean, it's not new to say, but the main thing I think about as I'm older is what he was about to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think about that often, like what he was about to get to, and the power that had, in uniting. Because yes, we have a long way to go as people. We got a lot of trauma we got to heal from. We got a lot of unity we gotta establish amongst each other. But even after that, it's like he saw that there was another hill to climb, which is the power structure. You know what I mean? And I think about that often.
Poor People's Campaign.
Yes, and they don't want them problems. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want them problems. Whoever they is, I'm still trying to figure out who they are. You know what I mean? But whoever they are, it's like the problems they don't want. You know what I mean? So, like, I think about that.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you both.
Standing next to my great friend. It was awkward for everyone.
It's crazy. History.
It's all history. It becomes history.
Live from Rolling Loud, take one.
Live from Rolling Loud. Take one.
Live, baby.
It's history in this place.
I actually want to know did he do Amy in here?
I think he did.
He did?
He did something in here. One thing in here.
You mean like one of her joints in here? Or you saying one other thing?
I know
other than
he
her?
did something where I know she was here.
Okay, bet. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because there was something he was telling me about the acoustics in here that she liked.
I remember him saying something about the piano he recorded or some this space right here specifically.
You know that one time I was on the air and the program director came in and said, this Amy had just dropped. Like she was just had come out. And I knew of her or whatever, but they said, Amy Winehouse is in the city. She's walking around. She wanted to come by. But I had 2 guests already that day in the studio. And it was just like, it was one of those crazy days, everything. I was just like, we have to book it. I can't today. It was just too much. Never got another chance.
Damn.
I know.
Was that like
I know.
before she
No, it was
took
before.
off?
It was before she took off.
Sheesh.
It was when people were talking about her, and I had heard some things.
Mm-hmm.
I heard some music. I knew she was amazingly talented, but I didn't feel emotionally connected to her yet.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those days, and that changed me. Ever since then, so whenever I'm like, I'll pass on an interview, I'll stop and I'll go, wait a minute, let me make sure.
Let me see who I'm passing.
Let me see who I'm passing. Because sometimes you pass just because you have 2 other interviews booked, or because you don't know enough about that person. You don't want to do a bad job. So sometimes you just be like, I don't really know her. You know what I mean? So but since that day, I
more careful.
Word.
Hell yeah.
Because I was sick about that.
Oh my
Because
God.
I wanted to become like this incredible. Like I'm a huge fan.
Crazy.
Anyway,
Did you watch that documentary?
It's so good.
Oh, man. Yeah, that
it
shit
is
was-
so well done.
Yeah, it fucked me up for a little while. Though.
Me
like,
too.
Like I had a crazy energy after watching, like in a bad way, that like took like a couple days to shake.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like scared. You know what I mean? Like fear. Like how quickly shit can
Go left.
Go off the rails. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like just dealing with pain. You know what I mean? Or like handling shit the wrong way. It just felt like, yo. It's not like, oh, it's not like, oh man, she was just, no, like that could be any of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a couple decisions away.
And just the way everybody, I know we're going on a tangent about this, but the way everybody, it's like when you're watching it in a doc and you know how it ends, it's like you be like, she help her.
Yeah.
So you see it and nobody's seeing it. People are treating her like a commodity, and
Yeah.
it was tough to watch. It was so well done. So
Yeah.
really good. Anyway, so we're at Rolling Loud. We're in Salam Remy's house studio.
Yeah, thank you, Salam.
Thank you, Salam. So we're looking at pictures of like Amy Winehouse plaques and
Nas
Nas
right there.
Godson
Shabba
plaques.
Ranks up there.
Shabba Ranks plaque.
There's a cannabis plaque, which means a lot to me, because like
Yes, cannabis.
that was a big era for me. Hip Hop Is Dead album, Stillmatic album right there. Money Talks.
Fuji
the
La.
album. Oh my God.
Yeah, some
Fuji
good
La.
stuff in here. Anyway, so Salam was a great friend of mine for many, many years. Probably one of my first friends in the whole business. We are at his house.
Yep.
And I just happened to be in Miami. And Cole is in Miami doing Rolling Loud.
Yep.
And we've been trying to do an interview
Since the album dropped.
since the album dropped.
Well, maybe even before then.
And I'm in Miami on vacation, back floating in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a text from Eve like, yo, we're in Miami, come through. And I was very happy. It all felt right.
Thank you.
It all felt good.
Yeah.
So what's happening? So tonight you go on
Yeah.
10 o'clock. You go on 10, 11,
10:45,
10:45.
yeah, I'll probably get there like.
Is this your what do you normally do before the show? Not interviews. You never do interviews.
Nah, hell no. Really, the only thing I consistently do is like, I do my breathing. Like I try to do like a meditation before I go
Really?
on. Yeah.
Are you good at meditating? Because I'm terrible
Am
at
I
it.
good at it?
Yes, because
It depends on, I don't know if I'm good. It works for me. You know what I mean? Like I have a
thing.
style and a technique that I use for myself.
Like
that
you
I-
make people get out, right? Or
Yeah, for sure.
breathing.
Yeah. But what I do in the room before a show is different than what I do at home. You know
Got
what I
it.
mean? It's just like before the show, it's like, I just need 5 minutes if I can get it.
Yeah.
I'll take 10, but I'll take 3. I just got to do something to like
Yeah.
clear my head.
Some people probably call that prayer. Because it's like a form of prayer,
I do that
right?
too. I do that separately.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably, yeah, I do them separately. I actually do it at the end.
So wait, are you like, because I've heard you say this, but so you like meditation has like become a thing, like a regular part of your life? Like you do it all the time?
No.
Oh.
This is, I think people think that. Like, because I've had somebody talk to me, they're like, oh, man, they think that like I'm a big.
Right. Like you meditated before this interview.
Yeah, I actually did.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but even that is misleading. I do it when I get a little anxiety. You know what I mean? Or a lot of anxiety. When there's like a stressful situation. That's what I don't like about myself is like, I want to become disciplined to where it is a part of my life every day. When things are like good or things are like a little stressful. So like, I haven't done an interview in mad long. So like, before I come up here, I'm feeling like, I'm excited, but it's also like, oh, it's a little nerves. Like, it would feel like before I go on a big show or something.
That's so surprising to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I would feel the same way on my side of this. So I'm driving here. I didn't expect to do this interview, so I'm not all the way as prepared as maybe I would have been had we planned this. So me, I had the same thing. Mine, I translate it to prayer or whatever. Maybe I don't call it meditation, but it's the same thing. It's like just make sure my intentions are good. Just make sure that somebody's walking with me. He's walking with me to whatever I'm doing, and then that's kind of like it. Then you kind of got to let it go. So it's probably a similar thing.
Well, to meditate, I do that. The prayer, I should have did that before this too, because it's
I
just
did
like
it
a
for both
show
of
where
us,
I basically state my intentions and like ask for like guidance. Like, yo, I know these words. These people paid hard-earned money to come to this show. Let me nail everything. Let me try things I haven't done before. That's a prayer. Like, I'm asking for like guidance and like help in that area. The meditation for me is more like being present. I'm not trying to think anything. I'm not praying about anything. I'm just still observing. So if my mind is racing, and it might be nerves, or it might be there's a bill due, or it might be this is happening in the family, I'm noticing it, and I'm trying to
let it go.
Let it go, but also not fight it. Bring my attention back to like my breathing, something that's currently happening. The sound of that fan. I just listen and try to like focus on that. And what you'll notice is like my mind will start going to something else. Like, oh, my mom said something on the phone, boom, boom, boom. And I'll start thinking about that. And I might go on a 30-second trip on that thought. And then I catch it like, oh, look what just happened. It's fine. Let me bring my attention back to that fan. Something that's like present moment. And like, I want to become a person that does that every day. Not just when like I feel anxiety or I feel stress. Because I'm like, yo, I see what it does for me in those moments when like things are like stressful or like I'm feeling anxious. It settles me. It brings me like back to the current moment. I can't imagine what it would do for me
if you did it every day
on a Tuesday in the crib. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine. Like, I feel like
we gotta get there. You gotta get there. You
sure.
inspire me. I just learned something from you just now, because I get anxiety about meditation because I do that. I travel, my brain starts, and then I get frustrated with myself, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Oh, like I'm doing this wrong.
I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I get aggravated and frustrated, and then I don't want to do that again. And so I don't do it as much as I should. But giving yourself the like freedom to just kind of say, I got that. Okay, but let me. I'm gonna try it that way
like
next time.
It's supposed to be like when you start meditating, that's supposed to happen. All it's showing you is that, and all it's showing me and showing all of us is that like I'm not in control. I'm letting my mind like run the show, which is fine. I don't want that to happen for myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like a slave to my thoughts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to, and I feel like that's how I've been living my life.
Yeah.
Being like a slave to like my thoughts. And 98% of my thoughts ain't even my thoughts. It's something I seen on Twitter, heard on TV, something my mom told me when I was younger, something somebody else said me. So these thoughts are like fears and worries or like just ideas from other people. And it's like, that stuff is controlling me.
Yeah.
In a meditation, and I'm talking about it as if I do this all the time.
No, but it still doesn't matter.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Somebody like me who only does it once in a blue moon and wants to. You're more advanced than me, so you get that.
So
you're
like,
already more advanced than me.
Cool. So like, if you catch yourself doing it again, just enjoy the fact that you can even recognize
and
that
bring it
it's
back.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, like, oh man, like this is hard for me. It's okay. Let me just bring it back.
It's all weird today. Everything today happens like has happened for a reason. So even we were talking about this earlier, our last interview, right? So we did this interview that it doesn't go away. Literally, my timeline, there's always a clip of that interview that pops up. And that was what, 2 years ago?
No, that was 20.
3?
Into 2014.
I'm terrible
yeah.
with time.
It was
I don't
like
know. It could have been 2 or 7. I don't know.
It was 3
It's definitely
years
a
and
long
like
time ago.
5 months ago, something like that.
People pick clips and they rerun it all the time, and it's probably one of my favorite interviews too, because I feel like in this, I feel like a lot of people do interviews now with with an agenda or a purpose, or and I feel like that day we were present. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I don't feel like you get that in conversations with artists much anymore.
Yeah. Why is that, you think?
Well, because I think there's a lot of people that are doing what I do, and I think people are trying to get the best soundbite, or they're trying to get the best moment, or they're doing it for other people, or I'm guilty of it. I'll be thinking of what my audience wants to hear from you, or what my assistant, who's a super fan, might want to, and so then I'm already plugging my brain into other people's. So it's the same thing that what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So that comes into everything, even interviews, even just moments of conversation. But I feel like for some reason when I'm talking to you, I'm able to put that shit aside, which is good.
That's good. And I feel like I'm no good at, part of that reason is because I'm no good at the other thing. And sometimes I would think man, that's to my detriment. I think there's certain artists who can come into a interview and
with
they
an
know
agenda.
Yes, they know
sound
all
bites.
the point. It don't matter what question you ask me, I know the things I want to say.
I hate those people. I hate those interviews. I don't hate those people.
Yeah.
I hate those interviews.
Man.
I hate those.
So a
But
part
you
of me is respects it, because it's
No, it's a craft.
You look at this like it's a game,
Yeah.
and how can I? It's
Yeah.
manipulative, you know what I mean? And in that
Yes.
sense, it feels wrong. But I respect the fact that at least you got good at it. You know what I mean? You at least got good at it.
Yeah.
I'm
Terrible.
terrible at that, and it's I'm almost I realize I'm a dangerous interview because it's hard for me to lie. You know what I mean? I can't lie. And not only is it hard for me to lie, it's hard for me
What's good, baby?
to not go in on the whole
what's
truth.
good, baby?
Once I tell you
Yes.
something,
This
I
is
gotta
why we
make-
love you.
I
This
gotta
is
make
why-
sure you know. I can't lie. And not only is it hard for me to lie, it's hard for me to not go in on the whole truth. Once I tell you
Yes.
something,
This
I
is
gotta
why we
make-
love you.
I
This
gotta
is
make
why-
sure you know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about and give you the full perspective, even when it might be something that's I didn't really mean it. So I feel like it's because I open myself just by sitting in this chair. I'm wide open and vulnerable for whatever you ask me, and then it's gonna shift the conversation. As opposed to me coming in all right, I know I'm gonna take this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I gotta
have no clue
promote
what this.
this.
is about to be.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have no agenda.
For sure.
I don't really have an agenda too. I mean, there are some things that I've wondered about since, because I didn't see you last album.
I got some good news for you. YouTube is there and it'll answer any question you have, baby.
I obviously haven't seen you since you dropped this album. So there are some things just from that place that I wonder about. And I brought you some little facts, which I think are cool. And I wonder if you care about
Okay,
this. So
cool.
this is the I mean, I don't have to go through all of them. Billboard records, Spotify, you broke the Spotify record, 64.5 million plays on Apple Music. You beat Drake's views. That held the record before that.
Wow.
36.6 million plays on Spotify. He beat out, I guess, also Drake, More Life. Do you hear from Drake when something like this happens?
Yeah, he texts me. He says, "I hate you." Nah.
You ain't shit. I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
I'm coming for my
just
crown.
wait. Just wait. Nah. I don't hear from him.
Do you pay attention? Do you care about things
People
like this?
send me those things for sure, and even worse than that, when I put the album back up,
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram now. Just to post the
I
album on
know,
Instagram,
you
I'm
are.
on there. So I see, I see the stats that come through. So
How
I see
are
those
you on
things.
Instagram?
I'm trash. on
No,
Instagram.
I mean, how are you feeling since you've been back on Twitter? First of all, let me stop you and say that I love that when you first got back on Twitter, one of the first things you did was big up Cardi.
Oh yeah, that was dope. Yeah.
That was so dope because
Yeah.
was such
I
a
love her,
vulnerable, she was fighting for this position, and you could tell she was vulnerable, and you just came in. It was like a Twitter hug.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know
know
what
if
I'm saying?
I hope she received it right, but my point was I
No,
just
she
seen-
did
I
receive
seen
it
her-
right. I saw her
Okay, cool.
repost it.
Yeah, I talked to her in person too.
Yeah.
But I just feel like people give her so much advice that it's I didn't know if I was just another, I don't know her like that. So it's also yo.
Right, you don't know if she fucks with you or what.
Yeah,
right?
and also who are you to be giving me advice? But I saw her interview and I just seen damn, they putting mad pressure on this girl to try to beat herself. She had the #1 song in the country. It was the biggest song last year. And it's I just saw, and people oh, what, people were well, what's next? What about the album? And it's I know what it's like to be in those shoes. And it's I want to to just say something that's like, yo, you already won. You know what I mean? Like, you could drop an album that don't do nothing, which she didn't. She dropped an album and it killed. But it's like, even if you didn't, like, you already won, and it's not the end all. Like, you can come right back, basically. There's no
drop
rule.
it and repeat is what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really, really dope. It made me happy.
Word up.
And I was like, yeah, Cole, and he's back on Twitter.
Yeah, and then I disappeared for mad long.
Made me happy.
There's no one, and it doesn't do nothing. Yo, you already won. You know what I mean? Like, you could drop an album that don't do nothing, which she didn't. She dropped the album and it killed. But it's like, even if you didn't, like, you already won, and it's not the end all. Like, you can come right back, basically. There's no
drop
rule.
it and repeat is what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really, really dope. It made me happy.
Word up.
And I was like, yeah, Cole, and he's back on Twitter.
Yeah, and then I disappeared for mad long after that. But it's cool.
Yeah, where are you with social media? How are you like, I don't know, just positioning that in your life to make sure it doesn't change you or make you weird?
I'm trying. This is what I realized, because I took a long break from it. And then now that I'm back on it, I realized that some of the same stuff that I didn't like about it before, not because of other people, but because of myself, things that I see and make me feel a certain type of way, boom, 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 I noticed that, like, the break didn't do anything.
It's still there.
It's still there. So I realized that, you know, there's things that I beat in my life, like things that I had to, like, overcome just to, like, be a better person for myself. Like, yo, I don't like the fact that I'm doing this. Let me stop doing it. But guess what? It's not just as easy as, like, oh, let me stop. No, it's hard. You know what I mean? And those things I attack head on, like putting myself in situations where it's like, let's say drinking, right? I'll just stop drinking. It's not that I won't drink. Like, if it's your birthday,
we're gonna
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Cole, have a drink. I do it. It's not like, no, I just don't drink. But I noticed I was in a point in my life where it's like, I felt like I had to. Like, whenever I was going out, it was just natural. Oh, just let me get a drink. Let me get a drink. We on tour every day. Let's get a drink. Which seemed inconsequential to me, right? But then I started to notice around the time I was like, yo, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I doing this? And then tracing back all the things in my life, that where did it start? Where my childhood, where did it come from? And I was like, let me stop doing it. And it was my man's birthday. This was 2015. And I was like, I'm gonna just try tonight. I'm gonna go out, I'm not gonna drink. And this is like unheard of. You know, in my life, it's like, yo.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like,
right.
I would never even would have thought the day would have came where I would have stopped drinking. Because to me, it wasn't a big deal, you know what I mean? But this is when I noticed it was a big deal. Because when I tried to go out that night and, like, not drink, I could feel the pull and the tug. It wasn't like I was like, yo, I ain't drinking no more. And it was like,
Cool.
oh, easy.
Yeah.
No problem. No. I felt the pull and the tug for mad long, like putting myself in these situations. And when I noticed that pull and that tug, that, like, that my body, my mind was telling me, like, yo, and then I was like, damn, I want to, like, have a drink. That's what let me know, like, oh, like, something's there, right? So I say all of that to say, I kept putting myself in situations or finding myself in situations where, like, I would want to drink. And this is a small example I'm giving you because it's kind of inconsequential. You know what I mean, in my life.
I feel really guilty that there's Jameson in my tea right now.
You on vacation.
I know.
Don't forget that.
I'm like, did I feel a pull to put this Jameson in my tea?
No, my bad.
No,
I'm
it's
not
okay.
trying to
It's
feel
fine.
like that.
It's
I'm
fine.
just,
No, it's
I'm
fine.
saying that to say, I didn't like how it was making me feel. So I attacked it head on. I kept finding myself in situations where I would want to do that, right?
Yeah.
And every time I said no and was successful, I felt more empowered. Like, I felt like I was beating whatever this little thing was that had this, like, pull on me, right?
Yeah.
Every time I would say no. But I feel like it's because I put myself right there. This is a very long explanation for social media, but it's coming around.
No, I get it.
I got stronger because I faced it head on, like, and empowered myself through every time I was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, it's something, you know, it's my man wedding or something. I'm just like, nah, I'm somewhere where it's like, yo, you gotta take it. I'm just like, nah, I'm not drinking no more. I got more empowered, like, and stronger, right?
Right.
I say with social media, I was off it for so long that I thought that, like, oh, I had beat this addiction. You know what I mean? Like, I had beat this thing. And then I got back on it and I realized, like, oh, nah, you just took a break. I didn't face it, like, head on, you know what I mean? And I know I'm putting a lot
How
of,
do you
like,
do that, though?
How do I face it head on?
Yeah.
I think I have to,
I'm dealing with it right now.
Yeah, you haven't figured it all out.
The fix in the past would have been like, I'm just getting off the shit. I think the fix right now is like, no, let me get on it and figure out to become conscious of the pull or the feelings. The same way when I was in the party or at my man's wedding or wherever I am, where it's like, yo, I gotta have a drink when you want, but I've already made a personal decision that I'm not gonna do that. I gotta feel that feeling. And then the more aware I become of that feeling, like the more I'm in control and I'm like above it as opposed to being like a slave to it or pulled by it, right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I feel like with social media and just my phone in general, but really social media since I got back on, it's like, what is this pull to like, why I keep checking this shit every 5 minutes? Like every 10 minutes, what am I checking? So it's like noticing that, being in the crib, being at the show and noticing, catching myself, being aware, same way we talked about the meditation in the beginning, just being conscious of the fact that like, yo, there's an urge right now to pick up my phone. And even if I wasn't on social media, we had like a group chat, like a WhatsApp group chat that we got. Right. I had to get out of that for a minute.
That'll get you too.
Thing. Yeah, but now I'm back. I got the same thing with that. I'm back in the chat and like I can see, yo, this is pulling me. Like this has control over me. And these things seem like
and you're an evolved human. Imagine for like, you know, a young person or kids who grow up in that and don't even know a way to not be on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%. Like I know life without it.
You know life without it. And also you're like a thoughtful person to even think about yourself and how you're acting. You know, if you're a young kid and this is all you know, it's like, how do you pull yourself out of that? You can't. It's like impossible for them. It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
But somebody has to tell them.
Yes, agree.
That there's even something. Somebody has to make you aware that something's even pulling your strings. That's what I don't like. I don't like something pulling my strings. I want to be in full control. If I'm making this decision, it's because I'm consciously saying, yo, I want to do this and I'm okay with the repercussions.
Right.
If social media, I don't like the repercussions. I feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm allowing other people's thoughts to become my thoughts. I feel like I'm diving into other people's business. I feel like there's good from it. I feel like it's a news source. You know what I mean? It's like communication. I feel like there's positives of it, but the negatives I don't like. So it's like, it's on me to say, let me get back control of this. You know what I mean? And I said all that to say, I don't think the answer was letting it go. That's what I did before. I'm gonna just get off this.
Because the problem too, Cole, is that when you let it go, it's like, you know, you have a powerful voice, right? And so it's like, we don't hear that then until the next album comes. If you're not communicating with people and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember you popped up, I think it was Colin Kaepernick thing, you popped up for that and you pop up here and there. But I just feel like you have something to offer people that is needed.
Do you think that stuff makes a difference?
What do you mean? When like you chime in on something?
Stuff. If I come in and I say, yo,
I do. I think you're one of the few voices that it does. Because you are so thoughtful about how you use your words and the things you put out there. I still think you would be thoughtful when you share on social. You know, it's not like you're just out here just willy-nilly, you know what I mean, spewing your random thought of the second. But I think when you do have a full thought and have something to offer that, I think it's important. I think it matters. I think you are one of the few voices of this generation that actually it matters to people. We talked about that even from our last interview. They're still pulling clips about your thoughts about attaining happiness and, you know what I'm saying? True. It matters. You have to feel that, no?
Feel which part?
Just like that response. I don't want to call it a responsibility. Just the power of that.
I do when I'm making the music and when I'm coming up with a concept of an album or in the midst of writing a song. That's the best feeling when it's like, yo, I know
they need to hear this.
This is gonna help somebody. It's gonna resonate with somebody.
Yeah.
I forget that once the album drops. And once I go live my life.
Because you be off the meet, you don't talk to people.
Yeah, for sure. I forget. But there are reminders. This album has been a lot of reminders of like, oh.
Like what? What has been the biggest thing that people resonate? Because there's so much. There's addiction and just all types of.
For sure. Well, the things that make me the happiest or like, have me like, wow. There's a few things. One, and I guess it's the advantage of being on IG. Like the night the album dropped, I got this real long, super long direct message from. He was literally. I'm new on Instagram. I ain't even been checking
DMs.
The whole, you know what I mean? This is new for me.
Right.
It's literally like the first one I clicked on.
Who is it?
I don't know. It was just a random dude, and it was after the album dropped, maybe a few hours, and you know the album dropped like 4:20, the night of 4:20. So this might be 4:20, like it might be that Friday at like 2 a.m. or something, right? The whole message from him is like, bro, this shit is long as hell, but I'm trying to like summarize it for you. Basically, like, bro, my mom died last year. She was an addict. For years before she died, I probably told the story in the wrong order, but for years before she died, she was kind of like mistreating me in a way. I guess like she kept breaking his heart. You know how it is, like when you got somebody in your family that's like, you love them so much and they just choosing this thing. It feel like maybe they choosing this thing over you. He just kept getting his heart broke. And the people around him was telling him, you know, other loved ones that he had, like, yo, you just gotta let her go. Like, she'll come back to you. You know what I mean? She'll come back around, but she just gotta deal with this shit. Like,
And she passed.
Yeah, you shouldn't just keep getting your heart broke.
Right.
So he let her go. He let her go, like, you know, I guess like stop responding to her, stop answering her calls or whatever, I don't know. And she died. And it's just like, he's just like, you know, as you can imagine, probably blaming himself, probably blaming the people that told.
Probably medicating himself in some
So
way.
he tells me this. He was like, bro, this is 420. He was like, bro, I just bought so much weed and so much pills. He was like, just because I'm like, fuck it, it's 420, I'm about to numb myself. Like, I just don't want to feel shit. He was like, bro, I just heard your shit. And he was like, I realized I'm doing the same thing that she was doing. Like, this is how I've been dealing with the pain. I just been numbing this shit and not like hitting it head on. And he was like, I realized I'm just following in the same cycle that my mom just did. And I've been holding on to all this shit.
This was like immediately after the album
It
dropped?
was out, like literally, the nigga was like, yo, I was about to smoke right now and pop these pills right now. It's 420. Like, anybody that's a smoker and like, they know that's their day. That's their holiday.
It's a holiday.
He racked up for the day. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, I just bought something for the whole day, maybe for the whole weekend.
Wow.
And he was like, bro, he was like, I'm, you know, and I'm not saying like, and I'm not gonna tell myself like, oh, this kid's life is forever changed, because that's not how addiction works.
Yeah.
He told me like, yo, bro, I'm done with this shit. I'm putting this shit off. But I know how it works. He might have did that for a day or two and might have, you know, slipped back. But just the fact that entered his mind of like, yo, that never crossed his mind before. Like, yo, I'm running from this shit by going to this. So that was the first thing. There was a lot of other things, but in particular, there was a friend of a friend. I know her, and we cool too, but she's more, you know, she's like best friends with a mutual friend. And she called her friend, like, crying because her little brother, after hearing the album, opened up to her, had the first conversation he's ever had with her about like their mother's like addiction and like how much that shit has been like eating him up and bothering him. And it's like just like, and she was just like, yo, he had to be like 13 or 14 or something. And it's just like, yo, or maybe younger, I don't know his age, but just like, yo, he's never spoken a word. It's like an elephant in the room that nobody speaks about. You know, it's like he spoke about it because he realized like, yo, whatever he realized and whatever he took from the music,
It moved him.
so it's like those moments in the, you know, I get
That's
in the
amazing.
beginning. It's like I get little messages or like words, or somebody will text me and be like, yo, I learned stuff about people I didn't even know. Like people that I know and I never knew that about them.
Yeah.
Once they hear the story, it's like, yo, I just want to let you know, like, my mom's an alcoholic and I've been dealing with this, and like they never had a space to like get it off. So that type of stuff is making
That's
it to me.
amazing.
And in those moments I remember. But
That's amazing.
and then I just forget.
Yeah, because you're human. Because
Yeah,
you're
it's
human,
like-
and you have a life and family.
Yeah,
and
it's like
kid and-
I say I don't walk around every day like, yeah, man, out
My
here
voice is so
changed life.
important. Yeah.
no, but when I hear that, I'm like,
You're reminded.
because in those moments
Yeah.
of writing it,
Yeah.
that's my hope, that's my intention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you do share stories that are that personal, I mean, you're talking about your mom, and you're like very honest in the album. Do you have to tell her? Do you give her a heads
I
up?
told her I gave her a heads up.
How does she respond to that?
She's fine with it. the thing is though, when I came into the game, like a lot of people like started listening to me on the first album. You know what I mean? Which I'll talk about some things on the first album.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, there's a whole gang of people that know like that first album is like, you're late if you're there.
Yeah.
So in the beginning stages, warm up Friday Night Lights, I was saying things. These songs were from, and these feelings and these words
You've been dealing with since then.
I was saying before I even got signed, and then shortly after I got signed. So before I was aware of how many people will be listening, right?
Yeah, it's different when you're saying into a small platform.
Yes, when I was just like, it was more like therapy than it was like show and tell to the world.
Right.
It was like, yo, I'm gonna get this off. My homeboy's gonna hear it. I don't mind if y'all know, it's cool. Like, it's just how I feel. This is just what I was going through, you know. And so once shit started getting bigger, so back then I wouldn't even say nothing. I wouldn't tell my mom, you know what I mean? Like, she told me something one time back in the days, and I took that as my past. She was like, look, my story maybe can help somebody, you know what I mean? And I'm not ashamed of nothing. So like, tell my story. She told me that years ago.
Oh, wow.
Like, don't be afraid to tell my story, right? But I don't even think she knew how big it could get.
Right.
So I say that to say, like, now that it's gotten this big, I had to call her and just be like, Mom, you know, I'm telling this story. Mom, this is about this era. This is what I mean when I say this.
Do you talk to her about it before? You know what I'm saying? Are you guys already have clarity about those feelings and your thoughts?
Yeah. This isn't that specific situation,
Yeah.
I never talked to her about because I didn't even remember, like, the song the music brought the situation
memories
back.
right.
And the words started to paint that specific scene.
Right.
So I never talked about like, yeah, Mom, you remember when boom, 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 because it just was never on my mind. But we've had mad conversations about the past and like pain and her way of dealing with pain, with that, how I felt when that was happening. You know, where we at now compared to where we were then, you know, it's like, so not that specific situation.
And she was okay with sharing that?
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah. My mom's a G, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It's
She has
brave.
to be. It is
It's
brave. It is
You know what I
brave.
mean?
It is brave. And so who is Kill? Who is
Edward?
Who is Kill Edward?
It's some artist, some
Is really that what we're going with? Are you really sticking to this? Are you really sticking
he's
to
just
this?
this artist. He's fire though.
No, but he's you, Cole. He is what it's like a person.
What do you mean he's me?
He's you. He's like a person inside of you. What is he like? A child in you, or you're not, or you're not ready to.
Nah, he's me.
Thank you.
It's
Let's not let this be weird.
I wanted to make it weird at least for 10 seconds, just to say I did it.
Oh,
Oh, that guy.
oh. So who is he? And I read something that your stepfather's name was Edward or something like that.
Yeah, yo, people are crazy. Like, I don't even know how they know that, but
They
yeah,
know
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So is that from that or?
So I'll tell you how it started. Yeah, but it first started from about after Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah.
I started feeling like J. Cole, which sounds weird even saying that in the conversation. J. Cole.
You love to talk about yourself in third person.
Right. That name,
Right.
I started feeling like it was like a box. You know what I mean? Like, I had told so much of my story from the come up, the warm up, Friday Night Lights, first album, Born Center, Forest Hills Drive. It was always about me, my aspirations, my goals, my dreams, my pains. It was a box.
Yeah.
Like, I started feeling limited. I had been telling my story for so many projects, so many songs.
And then there's an expectation. And
Yeah, expectation, but it's also like, yo, I don't want to talk about myself no more. You know what I mean? And like, which eventually would birth For Your Eyes Only. I didn't know, it wasn't like I was aware. Like, I don't want to talk about myself no more. I'll do For You. All of this was like subconscious. But another thing that came out of that was I started like experimenting with this music, like the production, my voice, and I started doing these songs in this Kill Edward style. I didn't even have a name. I just had the songs.
But how you name him Kill Edward Styles?
Well, I needed a fire name. I needed a fire name.
Right.
That's the first, it checks that box. It's
Okay.
a fire name, Kill Edward. And then secondly, it just represents like, I feel like not kill him physically. I actually don't have no problem with the dude. Like I would speak to him today. I'm actually, you know, thinking about like, man, I need to go find this dude, like, and have a conversation with him. But
Because I wonder if this has reached him. It would have to, right? I would imagine.
I don't know. Well, maybe now.
Right.
But when I say kill Edward, what I'm talking about is like the shit that I feel like I inherited from him. Like there's aspects of myself, remember I told you earlier, shit that I feel like I wanted to overcome and beat. I feel like, oh, I got that from him. It's some like, it's some shit in me that's like, I don't like it. That's the shit I want to kill off. You know what I mean?
How old were you when he came into your life?
Young, mad young, like
yeah.
5 or 6.
I just have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people. My son has a stepfather in his life. It's great to him, thank God. But
Awesome.
I know a lot of people, I have friends who have newly married and they have these men and these boys' lives.
Yeah.
And it's a challenging like relationship. It can be a challenging relationship.
Very important.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that your husband's like a positive force in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's such an important.
It's not an easy thing though. You know what I mean?
For sure. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. And so I wonder, like, for you, was that part of it, or was it abusive? Was it just bad?
It was
You know what I mean?
it was unhealthy for
Because-
my mom and for us.
Got it.
And you know, I don't want to like bash this dude because I understand now that like whatever was happening, he was going through
What he was
what
going
he
through.
was going through,
100%.
which comes from whatever in his life that happened. You know, I don't even know. I know a little bit about his life, you know, just from like clearly being around him all them years, but I don't know the traumatic shit that he went through as a kid that like caused him to be X, Y, and Z. You know,
But you
so-
know how it affected you as a young boy.
for sure.
Right,
So
yeah.
I know, but just to answer, so I say that to say like I don't want to throw this dude under the bus, but that shit sculpted me and like, you know, and had a big effect on my family. So to answer your question, what was it like? It was like I was having a conversation one time with my man. And, you know, he was talking about his stepmother, and it was just a ill conversation because I'm hearing him and seeing my situation, then I'm talking to him about my situation. And it was like, it was just a great conversation. And the insight, not even the insight, the way I related to him when he was like, yo, I felt like she like stole my light. Like she stole my light. Basically what he was saying was, before she came around, he was in the crib free. It was just him and his pops. He was in the crib free. And then when she came around, certain things she ain't like. He said like he would go to the bathroom. This is a wild example, but it's just shit that happens and it sticks with people.
Yeah,
it just shows you like, yo, nothing's too small. No type of like pain is like too insignificant because that shit sticks with people and like bothers them. And this is a small example of like probably the other shit that was happening in his house, but it just shows you like he was saying like when he would go to the bathroom, she would tell him when he comes out the bathroom like, yo, you're peeing too loud. Like I can hear you
It's not
pee.
nice.
And it's just like
That's foul. There's no excuse for that.
no excuse for that, right?
Nah.
But you know, but what does that do to you as a kid? Now that's just one example.
Right.
There's mad other shit that he said.
They would
you know?
have to be. Right.
Now you in your crib walking on eggshells. This is your house.
Yeah.
You with your father who you love. It's your house. Now all of
You
a sudden,
afraid to pee.
You afraid to pee, let alone just be yourself.
Yeah.
So the way I related to that was that like I felt like him being in when he came around, I feel like me and my brother I just retreated. Like when we moved and I got my own room and me and my brother wasn't sharing rooms anymore, I just started like retreating in my room.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really even want to be in the house. And I say that to say there was parts of him I liked. He was cool as shit to me. Like, you know, like it was like good and bad.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, like I kind of looked up to him. I wouldn't tell him that. But on the other hand, you know, he was putting his hands on us. It's like, yo, at the time, I was young and it was just like, this is just what it is. You know what I mean? But as I got older, I just realized like,
That shit is whack.
yeah, like, bro, you're not my pops. Like, why you put your hands on
And
me?
you should never put your hands on my mother.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
And that was the worst too, because I was mad little. And it was like, it would be situations where it's like, you know, it was nothing I could do. And I wanted to do something and just felt like, just fear, scared of this dude. and being little as hell at the same time. This dude had muscles, guns, and I'm just like, you know, that shit was the worst feeling. So you got to live with that, grow up with that. But point being, I feel like self-confidence maybe wasn't like, I didn't, you know, it wasn't nourished. It wasn't like, it wasn't healthy. So on top of other little things I feel like I was affected by, when I say kill Edward, it's like cleansing myself of that traumatic experience.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
get
mean?
that.
Hell yeah.
So you choose Kill Edward, but nobody else to be on the album. Why nobody else on the album?
I just don't work like that.
Because nobody's worthy.
Yeah, nobody's worthy. But
Right.
that's the stunt, and that's not true.
I know.
That's just
I
rapping
can tell
shit.
when you're rapping, when you're in rapping mode because you have to. You're a rapper. We want that.
Yeah.
We want that, by the way.
Yeah, I realize people do want that.
We want you to talk that
Yeah,
shit sometimes.
Because when I say that, we played it at the show. Then when that line came up, niggas ain't worthy to be on my shit, the whole crowd was like, oh! Like,
They love that
That's
shit.
right.
They
So
love
like,
that
yeah,
shit.
but no, in reality, mad people are worthy.
Right.
But why, to answer your question, I just don't work like that. I don't work,
Really?
I don't work like, I mean, I work in a closed off space. I'm very like self-contained, and
Yeah.
I like it like that. And not saying I'll never become a person that operates the other way, but I don't make a song and be like,
You don't got mad people in the studio. And,
hell no. And I don't make a song and be like, damn, I want to get such and such on it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I said everything I wanted to say. You know what I mean? Like,
Song's done.
It's, you know what I mean? This is
Right.
what I want to say. This is the hook. You know what I mean?
So does this mean there'll never be a Kendrick and Cole album that everybody seems to think is happening?
Not for that reason. It's not that I wouldn't want to work with him. That's not the case. It's just
Okay.
that when I'm working on my album, it's just like, yo,
Yeah.
that's just how I operate. Like, you didn't ask Prince why he don't have no, and not comparing myself to Prince, but I'm saying,
Why him and Michael Jackson never did an
exactly.
album?
Why you ain't have Mike on the album, bro? I really think your album would be a little better if you had Mike.
Yeah, but why does everybody think that this is, and why are people confirming, some people are saying, confirming that there is an album that was, even like there was Absol, somebody said, yes, they're absolutely working on an album.
Nah, he might be talking about like when we originally got up to work.
Yeah.
Like this was years ago. Like when we originally got up to work, we had we just did a few songs. Like we did a bunch of ideas, put it like that.
Right.
It was nothing like, you wouldn't call it an album, you wouldn't call it nothing like that.
So that's not a real thing. That's like some fantasy thing.
It's not. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like it's something that's actively happening.
So when the Top Dog posted like a piece of fruit, it's not the forbidden fruit.
Did that happen? Are you saying
He
that
posted
happened?
the fruit. Top Dog posted I think it was Top Dog. Somebody posted a fruit, and everybody was like, "Oh, this means the album's coming." You weren't online that day.
Nah,
You
I
weren't on
wasn't.
Twitter that
Nah, I
day.
didn't see that one. But nah, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't get their hopes up.
Nah, not because it's never gonna happen, but just because it's like
It's not right now.
it's not right now, and
Yeah.
I don't like teasing or playing the game because this has been going on for a minute. Like this shit is like years in the
Why?
making.
Just because it's. Why do people do? Why?
I mean,
it's like
you
Prince,
know,
Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like we did it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like it came from nowhere. So it's like it's you know
Yeah.
I got to take blame in that.
Yeah.
But for that reason, it's not that I don't make a song and be like, damn, I want to get such and such on it.
Affirming.
Not like that.
So that's not.
Not because it's never gonna happen, but just because it's like
It's not right now.
it's not. We had we just did a few songs. Like we did.
Never be a Kendrick and Cole album that everybody seems to think is happening.
Nah,
Piece of fruit. It's not.
we had we just did a few songs. Like we did a bunch of ideas, put it like that.
Right.
It was nothing like, you wouldn't call it an album, you wouldn't call it nothing like that.
So that's not a real thing. That's like some fantasy thing.
It's not. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like it's something that's actively happening.
So when the Top Dog posted like a piece of fruit, it's not the
It's
forbidden
not
fruit.
did that happen? Are you saying
He
that
posted
happened?
the fruit. Top Dog posted I think it was Top Dog. Somebody posted a fruit, and everybody was like, "Oh, this means the album's coming." You weren't online that day.
Nah,
You
I
weren't on
wasn't.
Twitter that
Nah,
day.
I didn't see that one. But nah, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't get their hopes up.
Nah, not because it's never gonna happen, but just because it's like
It's not right now.
it's not right now, and
Yeah.
I don't like teasing or playing the game because this has been going on for a minute. Like this shit is like years in the
Why?
making.
Just because it's. Why do people do? Why?
I mean,
it's like
you
Prince,
know,
Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like we did it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like it came from nowhere. So it's like it's you know
Yeah.
I got to take blame in that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep teasing people and like, that's I don't want to play with people's emotions.
If people
basically.
want that, why wouldn't you just give it to both of you?
Because it's not that easy. It's like, it's timing. This man is his own man. I'm my own man.
He has a Pulitzer Prize now, by the way. He's a Pulitzer Prize
You know what I
winner.
mean? It's like,
you might not be able to get on the phone.
Yeah, for sure. So he got like, he got a career. I got a career. I got a family. He got a family.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not as easy. It would have been easier back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it would be like, yo, you really got to block off a lot of time.
I think you should do it.
Yeah,
Do it for the people.
All right.
Do it for the people, Cole. Okay. I'm going to take you back to the last album.
Okay.
I'm going to take you to False Prophets.
Yes.
Because this came up a lot during the recent Kanye, I don't know what that was, episode. This Kanye episode. A lot of people posted Instagram clips of you. Have you seen those? You've seen those.
Yep.
And then also Kanye did the interview where he said, I think it was with Charlemagne. I think he said that he felt like you had been taking digs at him in those songs for a while. But then he posted you were on the phone together. What are we to make of all of that?
Yeah. On which part?
I know.
Which part?
You've spoken clearly.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah. Did you not know that picture was going up?
Of course not.
Yeah.
No way. I would have never.
Made the call. Did you make the call or he made the call?
Nah, he called me, but I would have never posted that or like tell him to post that. You know what I mean? I didn't. That made me feel a certain type of way. I told him that.
Because it's private, right? It's like.
It just made me. He apologized for the
Right.
record. It's not like I'm just saying this.
Right.
But then I told him like it felt like you just used my name in that very quick conversation for social media and for like to keep your thing going, whatever you were doing. You know what I mean? And like, it just felt like it wasn't sincere because of that.
What do you make of all this? And why? And what was the conversation? Because he had said a lot of people reached out to try to get him to change his stance on some of the things he was saying about Trump. And was that what your?
Sheesh.
I know this is touchy for you, but
it's touchy because I never been. I don't like talking about other people. You know what I mean? Like, and if it was just me and you, no microphone, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna go in on the whole situation.
Okay.
But I feel hesitant to
make it a blog
go in
headline
for the public.
Yeah.
So I tread lightly if possible. But the only reason I would even feel comfortable taking it any distance, cause like, yo, I didn't even ask. Like you put that out there and like.
You put me in this.
Yeah, and when he called me, he said, yo, right off the rip, he was like, man, I need you to hold me accountable, keep me in check, like, say whatever you gotta say.
Right.
I need that. I feed off that. So like, are you sure? You know what I mean? Cause like, I see this a certain way, and I gotta. I'm first of all just a fan. That's really all I am. I don't know you. You know what I mean? I'm just like a dude that was a fan back in the days, and when I'm writing False Prophets, which that song wasn't about him. There's one verse that applies to him for sure. But if you listen to that song is about what this shit is exposing and what I got to check myself about. And I check myself on that song as well.
I love it's a brilliant song.
Where it's like, yo, celebrity worship. We're worshiping celebrities. At one point in time, I put this dude on a major pedestal, and he ain't the only one that's been there. Jay been there, you know what I mean? Pac been there, Big been there, Nas been there. It's a bunch of people that have sat on that pedestal of like, bro, you inspire me. And these kids come up to me and they tell me the same thing now. And it's like, and sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that, you inspire me. But it's when it's at an unhealthy level that I fear. And I feel like for the majority of us, our fascination and our interest in celebrities and what they do for us
It's an unhealthy level.
is unhealthy. It's like one of those, it's like earlier when I talked about something that I want to overcome, something that I don't like. I don't like that. And being on Twitter around that time that Kanye shit was happening, which was just last week. I'm talking like it was a long time ago. But
back then?
But it exposed that part of me, there's something that I don't like about myself. Cause I was in that shit too. Like, yo, what is this nigga saying? This nigga tripping. Like, but I'm in it. I'm in it, and I could feel the fact that it was impossible to look away. It's like the drinking. It's like, yo, if I can't just turn this thing off, if I can't stop looking, then I'm being controlled by this thing. And what's controlling me? My fascination with you, my fascination with celebrity, my fascination with gossip, my fascination with drama, my fascination with other people's lives who have been deemed worthy because of the level of success or money that they've achieved. And it's like, that bothers me for myself. And it bothers me for the world too, you know what I mean? But it's not like I'm like, man, the world is fucked up. Y'all spending too much time worrying about celebrities. I'm like, nah, I'm doing this shit too. I can see it. Because I was just on Twitter like.
And by the way, you was only back on Twitter 30 seconds and you already got caught up.
And already was feeling it. So, I don't know where we originally started,
I get
but
it.
you know, that was what, I guess false prophets, like that's what I was trying to say. So my perspective of him is from like a dude that was a big fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's coming from a place of like, when I wrote that song, first of all, when I wrote it, when I released it, it was coming out then anyways, first of all, but maybe a month prior to that is when like, when he had like a breakdown or whatever, when he had to go, when he went to the hospital, he was on stage and whatever happened. When I wrote that song, it was January of that year. So it's not like I was like poking fun or like, no. I wrote that song based off of observations when nobody wasn't saying shit about mental health. Like, don't have a mental health conversation after somebody checked themselves into a hospital. Now you want to talk about mental health is real. Mental health is real. Well, you had to wait for a nigga to check himself into the hospital to say that? You didn't say shit about mental health when this nigga ran into the water off the stage? Or when he's on stage like things to me that I looked at like, yo, bro, I'm calling people
Is he all right?
close. Like, yo, is he all right? Like, when he's on stage ranting for an hour, I'm like, yo, I see a dude that's like crying out for help in a sense. You know what I mean? It's like, and on top of that, I also feel a certain way about this other shit.
So then what do we do? Because like you said, and like I said, you're a mindful, you're a thoughtful person. You only been back on Twitter 30 seconds and you can't help but look away. And so a lot of the conversation was like, stop supporting Kanye because he's saying this, or stop, don't do this, and we can't look. And I remember something happened in Puerto Rico that week really bad. There was some, it wasn't really riots. It was these protests that got violent in Puerto Rico. From my timeline, I couldn't even, nobody was talking about it. And it was really bad. You know what I mean? And I thought, I'm so busy and everybody's so busy. And I say we, I don't want to say everybody else. We're busy looking at, like, we're not even looking at other real things that are going on in the world. And then people were like, that's because everybody's too busy looking at Kanye.
Which is exactly what he got. That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
100%.
So what do we do? Do we not look? What do we do? But do we help? Because we care, right? He's somebody that has inspired us. We care. We want the we don't wish him bad. Well, so what do we do with when an artist disappoints us on that level? Or when we are faced with the
I don't know.
I don't know the truth that this is a false. Like, what do we do with false prophets? Well, everybody's false prophets, right?
I think there's gonna. I don't know. I think we're fucked right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I do believe. Like, I feel like there's no button that we can press right now that's gonna make everybody be like, oh man, fuck these dudes, whatever they, myself included.
Right.
I'm guilty just by doing this interview. I'm already guilty. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because what am I doing this interview for?
To communicate to people who connect to you.
But ultimately,
album sales.
I just dropped the album.
But
it's
are
not
you
for
really
the sales.
though?
No, I'm not here for the sales, but I wouldn't be here. I didn't come when I didn't have an album out.
Yeah, but here's the difference. If we didn't have a rapport, you didn't trust me, you didn't trust the intent of this conversation, you wouldn't do it. True. That's the difference, right? So you're not gonna sit here and do anything to sell your album. You're not gonna tweet anything to sell your album.
There you go.
It's a difference.
Okay, so that's to me that's the danger in what he's doing. And I'm trying to tread lightly, but the danger in what he's doing is I feel like he's using language. I feel like he's really good at sampling language that will resonate. And it just so happens this time he sampled the wrong shit because he thought that I can make this resonate. But I'm gonna sample this, and this is gonna get me. Ultimately, the end goal is so I can be more powerful and viewed as boom, boom, boom. I'm not comfortable unless I sit in that seat. So to me, the danger is that's cool when you're promoting fucking some fashion shit that don't really concern me and like don't really jeopardize my life as a black man, you know what I mean? Or don't really have no ramifications. Oh, go ahead. That's positive. Do what you do. Go head to head with these dudes on that level. Or when you talking about something, but when you come and you like, and you empower a demographic of people that their whole intent is to like suppress people and oppress people. Then it's like, bro, like I can't rock with that. Like I can't. I have a hard time like watching that and like holding my tongue almost. It's like, damn, now you really violating. Like,
so why do you hold your tongue? Because you don't hold your tongue on a lot of things. Is that out of respect for him as an artist? Is that out of like?
It ain't that. It's not even just a respect for him as an artist, which it's more like, even this is uncomfortable for me right now because it's like I don't like talking about anybody publicly in a negative way.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Publicly. Don't get it twisted.
Once cameras is off,
no.
We
in the chat right now, like, oh, this nigga, boom, boom, or whatever. But
right.
I and it's not just him; it'd be whoever.
Right.
Like, oh, this nigga tripping, like, boom, boom. But publicly, it's like, yo, people don't need to see that. The only reason I make an exception right now because it's like, yo, people believe this.
Yeah.
People don't see it like how I might see it, how you might see it, or how, and we see it two different ways. I know for sure we don't see it the same.
You and I?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because I know for a fact I see it differently. But I'm saying we see it similarly.
I'm so curious. Now I'm so curious.
It
You can
don't
tell
matter.
me after.
I'll tell you after. But
So
someone,
please enlighten me. Because I'm confused a little
Okay,
bit still,
my
so
bad.
maybe that's why, yeah.
somebody else sees this as like, that's right.
Neither one of us see that.
Why can't we just, yeah, it is love. Love is the way. Love is the answer. It's like, yeah, those are nice catchphrases. Like, and those catchphrases are true.
Or free thinking
Yes.
catchphrase.
Yes.
Yes.
Free thinking. But it's not free thinking. It's thinking that, no disrespect, but this is how I feel. It's thinking, it's enslaved thinking. It's thinking that's a slave to your own ego. You're not free thinking when your ego is pulling the strings. When your ego is the one that's like manipulating the conversation. Ego is tricky. Ego is a tricky thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it is sneaky. It's smart. It's deceptive. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why I look out for my own life. Like, even when I say this, like, yo, this conversation, I can't hold somebody else accountable without holding myself accountable. Where it's like, I have to look at my own life. Like, that's what false prophets is saying. This second and third verse. The second verse, I'm telling my homeboys, like, damn, bro, you stressing because they not feeling your shit and you can't get people to worship you. I feel you, though. Because have I sat in that same seat, if I really being honest with myself? Have I been mad because it's like, man, they not praising me like they, that's ego. The third verse is me talking, going into that even more. So I'm not holding somebody else accountable and not holding myself. I got to ask myself these same questions.
Yeah.
And somebody should feel free to hold me accountable the same way. And everybody that's in a public space, hold them accountable. From the president to your mayor to your favorite rapper to your favorite singer. What is the intention behind this? You know what I mean? And like, what's the balance of like selfish versus like, versus like the world? And I feel like the danger there is that there are people that are like, Kanye's for the people. And it's like, all right.
Right.
Maybe he is.
Right.
But I don't know.
There's that whole free thinking thing. I thought about that a lot and realized that like I started thinking about what is the space between like free thinking and social responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
What is free thinking though? Exactly. You see that face you just made?
Well, because it's free thinking, but with intent. Well, what is the? It's not about what is free thinking. It is about what is the intention
Right.
about the words that you're putting that label on.
Word.
Free thinking is, to me, being able to have thoughts and questions and saying them without the fear of social media, whatever opinions, blah 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 blah. But again, it's tricky because then you say, is that a catchphrase, like you say, or are these really thoughts that you are having with the intention of opening people's minds?
Right.
Seeing, you know, it's
Have
like,
you spent time with these thoughts? Have you challenged yourself, and have you challenged these thoughts? Have you, like, what you just said, like free speech? Yeah, we know, but free thinking, I don't even know what free thinking is. I don't even know if we were using that word 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know if somebody was like, man, I really love free thinking. Don't impeach on my free thinking. I don't know if anybody was saying that, but it's a nice catchphrase.
It's a good catchphrase.
That's very easy to catch on to.
Yeah.
Like, make America great again. Who don't want to make America great again? Like, if you really look at the phrase, but when you bust that phrase down and see what's underneath it, it's like, well, what do you mean, make America great again? When was America great? What era are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What What is, you know, like, be careful of catchphrases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shit be sounding good, but it's like, what's at the heart of it? The intent, like you said. What's the intention here? Is it for the people or is it for this one person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not just him. Donald Trump is to me, Trump is like a similar figure where it's like, this is a dude who the only end goal is I gotta be the man, period. Everything I do just has to ensure that I'm the man. Oh, y'all don't think I can be president? Watch this. Watch these catchphrases I throw at these white people who I really don't give a fuck about. I don't care about these poor farmers and, you're poor. You're in Ohio.
Right.
You think Donald Trump, you think I give a fuck about you? No, but I can use you. If I hit you with these cool catchphrases that you can grab onto and latch onto, and I say enough shit that you believe in me, you think these people think that, like, Donald Trump don't like them? You think that they think that he's not for the people? These people will swear, like, shit could get ugly because these people care about him so much. Like, let them try to impeach him or something. Like, shit is dangerous because that's how much they believe in him. Now, on this side, we know, like, you can't see that this dude is an egomaniac who only cares about himself. No, I can't see that because he's used all the language that makes me believe in him. What are you talking about? You're just a liberal. You're just a boom, and I don't even fuck with none of them. Either one of those sides. You know what I mean? It's like, I think there's manipulation maybe in both. I just resonate. I know what resonates with me and what don't. You know what I mean? And like, I just use him as an example of somebody that's like, those people are dangerous to me.
Yeah.
They're dangerous because
Manipulative.
And
Hashtags.
yeah.
Coin phrases for, it's
Yeah.
manipulative. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Cole.
But yeah, I didn't want to.
No, it was good though. I need it because this is what everybody's talking about. This is what everybody cares about and is talking about.
Everybody asked me too, like, you know, just regular people I know, like,
What do you think about that?
Nah, did Kanye really call you? Oh, how did the conversation go? I was like, you know, I see how much people give a fuck about that story. You know how big it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do I keep my mouth shut? I would feel like a liar. You know what
Also,
I mean?
if you keep your mouth shut, then you allow that to be the only narrative.
Yes. I feel like a culprit. I feel
little
like
bit.
I feel like I got used as a pawn, and then that somehow it looks like I agree with what this dude is saying and agree with what he's doing and the way he's going about it, and really that's very far from the case. I actually, on the phone, was concerned for him. That's the real truth. I was wondering, like, yo, am I supposed to be helping this dude? Like, I was just doing a lot of listening and then asking questions here and there when I could get in. You know what I mean? Of like, but more like the questions I was asking were trying to like dive deeper into like what's happening under the surface. You know what I mean? But you know, somebody like that, they very good at like changing the topic. Boom, I want to take it over here. So by the time we get to the fifth thing, I'm still trying to go back. Well, let's talk about that first thing you talked about.
Yeah.
So that was the gist of the conversation. Me listening, trying to ask questions and steer it. And when I got off the phone, I'm like, damn, am I supposed to, like, is God doing this because I'm supposed to like offer some help? Like anything that I can offer, just a voice,
Another perspective.
trying to like, not even to tell him anything, but just ask certain questions that can like maybe provoke him to look at something like he answer his own questions.
So what do we do with artists when they disappoint us on those type of levels? And it doesn't have to be Kanye, because like, you know, I saw this whole like mute R. Kelly movement, where they do things that are morally, you know, unthinkable or whatever. Like, what happens to those artists, or what do we do? How do we?
I don't really know the answer. I mean, what we currently do is nothing. We currently, like, we talk about it. There's an outrage. and then a hit can fix that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, that's what we currently do. You can speak about it. Do you stop supporting me? That's the problem. There's always gonna be, not always, because I feel like, 1,000 years from now, there won't even be celebrities. 1,000, 2,000, whoever knows.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I 100% believe.
Oh, I
Even
want to hear
if
that
it's not
theory.
1,000. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I'll get right back to that then. I just feel like until that day comes, there's always going to be people who believe in this person so much, which is the root problem to me.
False prophets.
Myself included.
It's a brilliant
you
song.
can't believe in me.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't know me. Even though somebody like me who puts so much into this, you still don't know me. I could be lying. Everything I say could be a fucking lie. I could be the greatest.
You could go punch some old lady in the face
Yes.
on the walkout.
I could be the terrible person.
Yeah.
But if I know how to spin it right, then what do?
Right.
But yet you putting your faith in me, and and guess what? This is the problem, even the more underlying problem, because I've been in that seat too. The only type of person that puts that level of belief and faith in a person, a celebrity, because there's people out there that like don't care. You know what I mean? They just treat it like, oh, it's just entertainment. I'm not going to these people for like life advice or like whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? There are people out there. I feel like the only type of person that does that, because I was in that seat, is an unhealthy person. And I don't mean that judgment like, oh, you're unhealthy. No. Somebody like me when I was a kid, like there's holes here. There's like insecurity issues. There's trauma from here. There's boom, boom. And it's like having believing in, it's a real life superhero. With Batman and Superman, or even Black Panther now, it's like, I know they fake. It's one thing to believe in them, you know what I mean, and like root for them, but I know they fake. I know that Jay-Z is real. He real, because he just came to North Carolina and did a show. I couldn't afford a ticket, but I know he was in that building.
Yeah.
He's real.
Yeah.
So it takes somebody who's vulnerable and like broken and gives them a way to like plug that hole. Even there's kids that like love me, love my music, and it's like, to them, I represent something
Yes.
more than just the music.
What
And
do you say to them?
I say to them that like, I don't want that to be the case. I don't want to mean that much to you, not because I don't care about you, but because I actually care about you. I want you to get to a place where no artist, celebrity, even person in your life can have that much meaning to you where it like dominates your life. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, I feel like even in a relationship, if this was just like a relationship between man and woman, I feel like, the majority of our relationships today are, I need you. And I need you too. And when this shit crackles and unravel, you do something I don't agree with, shit goes so bad because now all my holes start to get re-exposed. The holes that I didn't plug up, you starting to make me feel not having you, because you was plugging my hole, now I got to sit with this hole again. That's why I get so violent with this relationship, and why this shit gets loud and we start arguing, because I don't want you to leave me. And it's like, so to that person, it's like, yo, I don't want to fill your hole. Not because, I don't care about you. It's not like I want you to go fill your hole with something else. I want you to fill your hole.
Don't let Kendrick go fill your hole either.
Yeah, exactly. But not because he's not great, but because
Right.
you should fill this hole through like,
I get it.
through like self-love and like like building yourself back up. You know what I mean? Which is something that like we all got to work. I'm not sitting here like, man, I built myself up and here I go here to tell you how it works. No, I'm still building. You know what I mean? And like, I'm better than I was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I want to be better than I am right now 3 years from now and 30 years from now.
Well, that's how you serve, right? You serve by not being the prophet, but you serve by, well, you kind of are a prophet, sorry, but you serve by living your truth, right? And sharing your truth.
Right.
Because then that gives them information.
That's real.
So even if they don't do it exactly how you do it or exactly how you say it, you give them the information on how you do it, and then that serves. That's an honest way to, you know what I mean, to deliver.
I can stand behind that.
Yeah.
Confidently and say that, I didn't mislead you. I didn't manipulate you. I'm getting something out of this deal. This is capitalism. I'm selling music, boom, boom. But I know for a fact that the words that I'm speaking to you, when I speak, I know it. It's resonating right now when I talk. It's like, oh, I'm speaking to you my truth. Like, I'm not doing this to harm you, to mislead you, to boost myself up. It's because, shit, you just told me earlier, Cole, you got to do more interviews. And people be telling me that. I'm like, okay. All right. And then when I do them, I realize, like, okay, this interview might help somebody. Somebody might be like, damn, I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, boom. and there we go.
I think it's important when you do them.
But it's good because like I sit with the. Remember how earlier you was talking about the last interview? You was like, yo, it just went all.
It had like legs.
You asked me, are there things I want to talk about?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah.
No.
But yet, all this shit comes out because all I do is like sit on this shit and like just be thinking about this shit. Like sometimes I might get to have a conversation with somebody where this comes out, but it's like I do put it like this. These are nice for me. I'm realizing right now as we speak because in my life I do a lot of listening, and I don't find many, like in my relationship and my friendships. I do a lot of listening to like people's days, things that happen in their life, and I'm working on myself, trying to like make sure that like I get my shit out there too, and because I do a lot of processing in here, and then it just never makes it out. It's like a chore to like tell somebody like, well, this happened, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing that this is nice because I do so much listening that talking is like,
Get that off.
what I mean?
Get that
Hell
off.
yeah.
And it also reinforces your own thoughts when you say them out loud. It's like you have to become like almost accountable
Yes.
for the things you say.
Yeah, like, yeah, did that sound good coming out loud? Like,
Yeah. 1985.
Hard.
So hard.
Thank you.
And I so appreciate it. But the interesting thing is, as much as I appreciate it, my son, who is 14, this is like, I hear it blasting from his room,
Really?
which is really dope to me. I love when me and my kid like the same song because it's like, it doesn't happen all the time. I have my artist, he has his artist, which is good because he puts me up on some of the little people, the little such and suches,
We like
the
them.
littles, right? But that I hear it coming from his room and also then from my room too, which is really dope.
That's crazy.
But then it also prompted responses, right? Which you knew it would, right? You make a song like that, you know that people are gonna feel a way, or I know it came from good intentions. I feel like it was smart and well done and thoughtful.
Thank you.
But not everybody perceives it that way.
Yeah, I didn't give too much thought to that. Like, yo, such and such is going, or they gonna feel. It was just like, yo,
Yeah,
it was inspired.
it is what it is.
And it needed to be heard.
Yeah.
And I put it out, and then whatever happens is cool.
Did somebody call you and tell you that they were saying "fuck J. Cole" at one of the concerts?
Yeah. No, I seen that one actually.
You saw it on the-
on the Twitters.
What does that feel like? Is that weird?
Let me think about it.
Is it confusing?
It's not confusing because I think I've spent enough time seeing what's going on and what's brewing, like with kids, to like understand it. You know what I mean? In the sense where it's like, if I didn't understand it, it would feel like, yo, why y'all saying fuck me? Like,
right.
what you mean? You know what I mean?
Right, well,
But-
because you're calling them out on certain things that they probably enjoying doing right now, and they don't want to hear that shit.
yeah.
That's probably what it is.
I don't even know if it's like calling them out. It's more like, well, yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. It's more like, yo, because the reason why I wrote that is like that fuck J. Cole chant you seen, that was, I don't know if you know, that was prominent for like at least a year before that song came out.
Was it?
Yo, yeah. Oh, so you didn't know? Yeah.
No, I had heard that it had happened at a couple of those concerts, but I didn't know like
there
for
was
a year.
Whole energy happening, which this was new to me.
Why
Like,
they mad? Why was they mad at you?
I don't
Because you
know.
make
I
sense and
haven't-
you speak in full sentences.
I don't know, but it was to the point where like there's a store out in LA, where they do a podcast there, and like a bunch of these people like hang out.
Right.
Like those type of rappers or whatever. Like where that energy was coming from.
Right.
And like I was genuinely confused. Like, yo, why they saying this? Who's saying this?
And what?
And is it for real?
Right.
So I pulled up to the store, like where they be at, just to like check it out. Like be like, yo, and I'm prepared. Like I'm like, yo, when I walk in the store, it might be some like somebody trying to fight me or something, because the energy was like, fuck J. Cole. Like I'm like, but it's cool. I have to go see if it's real and how real it is, and I got to be prepared.
Wait, what
whether
place is this? It's like a store?
It's a store. They do a
They podcast from
They do
there.
a podcast from there. It's, No Jumper.
Got it.
So
So you popped up.
I popped up where the store is, just to see, like, yo, this is the focal point of this. This is somewhere I can go where I know these people be at, right?
Right.
Like either the artists themselves or like fans of them.
Right.
This is like a hub for this.
The people that were in the crowd, probably.
Yeah, or they know about it.
Yeah.
So I walk up just to see, like, yo, I walk in the store, look around, and all it was.
Are you like mobbed up? Are you like with security?
Hell no,
like who?
it's me and Eve. If you call Eve a mob. But I go in there just to like see what it is in person, and like everybody that's in there is like, oh shit, J. Cole, bro, I love your shit, bro. Right, like, so after like the 5th person to do that, I'm like, oh, okay. This is like, oh, it's marketing.
Right.
Like, it's just a ploy. It's like a marketing ploy. I understood it better then. I'm like, oh, this is like, it's trolling. Mm-hmm. We're in the age of trolling.
Yeah.
We're in the generation of trolling. These kids have figured something out. They figured out that attention.
It goes back to a lot of the things we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Attention is all that matters. The skill, there's a skill, the quality, fuck about quality. The what are y'all talking about? No, all that matters is attention. This music is just a platform for me to get attention. And what's even more important than the music is the shit that I do outside of the music. What type of wild shit can I cook up? What type of wild shit can I say just to get the attention? We are living in the Donald Trump era. You know what I mean? Of like, yo, just do the wild. And I'm not saying Donald Trump started this, but this is the era.
It's all Donald Trump's fault.
This is the era we live in, and that's what them
Right.
kids understand. So that to me,
Yeah.
I look at it in the same lens of like, yo, these people, it's a couple artists that like came up off my name on some fuck J. Cole shit. Like they got more and more popular based off of that.
Have you met any of them?
Not yet. Tonight I'm gonna meet them.
Tonight? Oh, because you're going to Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud.
They're
This
going
is
to
the
be
hub
there.
for them. They're gonna be there.
I think, and Pump is performing. Lil Pump is performing
Yeah, I'm not
tonight
sure
too,
if
or
it's tonight.
tomorrow.
Yeah, he's out here though.
But what is your feel? There's no like, what is your feeling towards them? You know what I mean? Is it like a?
I love them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It is really like a genuine like. First of all, I fuck with them. I actually fuck with their music.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like I actually like. I don't. It's not like I drive around and listen to it, but I've spent time like listening and being like, yo, this is fun. It ain't about shit, and it don't matter, but this is fun. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it might be at the cost of something. It might be some detrimental effects. You know what I mean? Somewhere down the line.
1985.
1985.
Right.
But I can't deny the fact that like, what I'm gonna say, this don't make me do this.
Yes,
you know
it
what I
does.
mean?
Right.
You know, so it's like,
Yeah.
that's first of all. Second of all, I look at them as like, man, I can't imagine. First of all, I can't imagine. But it wasn't as extreme for me, but I could put myself in the shoes of them and think that like, man, to want fame so bad and to want attention so bad, especially at such a young age. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was 15, 16,
Similar place,
I was
right?
calling No Limit hotline when I was like 12 years old. No Limit used to have their phone numbers on the back of their albums. I was calling the hotline, like rapping on the phone, telling them like, yo, P, I got ideas for videos, boom, boom, boom. So clearly I had a desire there too, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that desire of to want like fame, to want success. And as I got older, my real desire was just to be respected on some music shit. Mm-hmm. But there was still a very strong desire and to me, it all comes from like
Filling the holes.
filling a hole. Mm-hmm. So to want to go that hard at 16, 17, 18 to become famous and to want it so bad that you're willing to do whatever. This 6ix9ine kid, like he's willing to do whatever, say whatever, because he wants it that bad. Mm-hmm. And in a way, I'm like,
It's like you
got to kind of respect it because
Yes.
he knows what he's doing. But
disagree with a lot of things
But
in
imagine-
the manner in which, but also fascinated
fascinated.
the-
Can't look away.
at the will and the,
Yeah.
right. I feel you.
But the amount of pain and trauma or the has to be so intense for you to take it to those levels to attain that and to get that, to want that, whether it's money, the fame, something. I got it. If I don't plug my hole with that, no, I don't. It's not even an option. I'm gonna do whatever, cause I gotta feel this shit. I can't feel like no fucking lame no more. I can't. My mom gotta know I'm good enough. Or I'm gonna show my dad. Boom, boom, boom. These are just lines that might not be none of that. Might be some whole other deeper, darker shit. But it's like, so when I see them, I see like, I hear music that's fun. But I see kids that's like, I don't know what, maybe you come from a great family, everything was perfect. But I empathize with you because I see you want it so bad and I can't imagine why. You know what I mean? I would love to find out why. I would love to peel back your life and be like, what's under there?
Mm-hmm.
And even if I never get the chance to do that with you, I hope one day you figure, like, I hope one day you get to that place where it's like, let me start dealing with that, peeling that back, seeing what's under there, what's pulling my strings, what's forcing me to want this shit so bad that I do this.
Yeah.
And we're to blame as a society because, like, we promote that. I mean, obviously we were born into this, but we promote that and we award that. We award a certain monetary level that you hit. We award a certain amount of followers that you hit. We award a certain amount of clout that you get.
Yeah, the whole system that we operate on is like,
we support it.
Yeah.
We can't look away. A video come up right now, somebody put a video in the chat, this little rapper do this, boom, boom, boom. I'm clicking that shit. I want to figure out how to be free from that
It's
drama.
so much harder to, I don't know, it's just so much harder to operate in this system with integrity because it's harder. It's harder to get the click. It's harder to get people's attention. It's harder to get people to mob up or to, it's harder.
And guess what it comes back to?
What?
We did this the last time.
He's so good. What?
But it's capitalism.
Yes.
It awards fuckery. The trick of capitalism, and it's being exposed right now, is that all attention is capital. That shit is gonna equate to dollars. You know what I mean? So what do I gotta do to get attention? I could go on the street right now and do the wildest shit, and I got that attention. Which ultimately, that's what capitalism teaches us, like marketing. You know what I mean? Like marketing is a product of capitalism, and like we don't want to. Like, even for your job, it's like you can't just disconnect and unplug from that. Like, yo, I gotta stay up on this shit. Like, I gotta get the clicks too. And it's like, ultimately, this shit come down to money, and we promote that.
So the answer is to not give things attention. It's just hard to do.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, I don't think we're even close to that. I think we're thousands of years away from that.
When nobody's a celebrity.
Yep, and thousands of years, I think nobody's a celebrity. I think because I feel like as a race, as a species, I feel like we're spiritually like children. Like spiritually, we are like if this was infinity from here to here, and this end was like, towards the back end of infinity, which is impossible. But like, spiritually, this is when humans existed, and this is when we'll cease to exist on this end. I feel like we're like here spiritually in terms of like how evolved we are or whatever, right? So because of that, we look to men and women as heroes, as like people to look up to, you know what I mean? Because we have our own holes, and like when we look at them, they give us this perception that everything's perfect and they're a superhero and boom, boom, which is not the case. But I think in the future, everybody grows more awareness and consciousness, and like we just become like I feel like we're gonna be an enlightened species.
I wish I could be here for that.
Yeah, I feel like you will be.
In another form.
You won't be as Angie, but you maybe.
I hope so. I would like to experience that in some way.
Me too.
In some way.
But I feel like when we get there, everyone will know what this is.
Yeah.
Spiritually, everyone will know, like, why would I praise you or idolize you when you're the exact same as me? We are literally from the same source. We're literally the same thing. Why would I? Now, we don't understand that now. And even I'm telling it to you, and it resonates as the truth to me.
Yeah, and you're about to go get on the stage, and people are going to be like,
and they're all
go,
like,
Jay, go.
And I'm going to be on stage and be like, yeah, fuck with this song. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm telling you as like, this is my belief, but I'm not there myself. You know what I mean? Even though I recognize it to be true, it's not practice. It's not, I haven't hit that level where it's like, I've unplugged. Maybe my next life, you know what I mean? Or maybe generations down. But I do believe that that's where we headed.
Where are you going to be in your next life? You have any idea if you could choose?
I'm going to a HBCU in my next life.
Are you?
I just know that for a fact.
Okay, all right.
I feel like, I want that experience. Like my homeboys, some of my homeboys went, and like I used to just go.
My
and have such a
godson
good
just
time.
got accepted. He's going to Morehouse.
Oh my God!
I'm so excited for him.
So I'm definitely gonna be black in my next life.
You're gonna be black.
Unless I'm like
the white guy at
the
the
Asian kid at the HBCU. But nah.
That's so funny. So you're going. So tonight is Rolling Loud. He's gonna hit the stage there, and then you're going the KOD tour, which you chose Thug, Young Thug for, which I thought was an interesting
Thugger.
pick.
Yep.
What made you pick him?
He's just, you know,
Dope.
Yeah, he's just ill. Like I did get the feedback on that mad people were surprised.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that until, you know, my little sister was like, "What made you take Young Thug on tour?" And then I heard from Eve. He was like, "Yo, you know, people are like kind of bugging out that you took Thug. Like either they hate it or they love it. They like, oh, it's genius, boom, boom. But really, it's just like, yo, the nigga's dope. Like what?
Right.
You know, so they assume from like, oh, I did see somebody say, how you gonna pick Thug when your whole album is against mumble rap? First of all, my album ain't against nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're talking about 1985, that's just a message to these dudes that has something to say about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But my album is against nothing. My shit is if anything, it's inspired by these dudes. If you listen to the flows and the patterns and the production, it's like these dudes inspired that form. That's the form I took to get this message off on this album.
Got
so
it.
It's not against nothing. And if you want to talk about Young Thug as like an artist, he's a innovator. Like if you know skills, you call him a mumble rapper all you want, but if you know skills and you know like the art of rapping and you know like how you put words together and you know pockets and you know flows and you know the things he's doing with his voice, the dude is a genius. You know what I mean? So like to me it's like y'all are tripping.
Why wouldn't I have?
But it's like, oh, did I do this to myself? Did I unknowingly create a perception that I'm somehow above that? You know what I mean? When in reality it's like, nah, that's not what I meant to. You know, that's not what I meant to do.
Right.
But if it is, then that's not the case.
You don't look at yourself as a different level of artist
no,
than
hell
a
no.
Young Thug.
No.
Yeah. And then there's a festival, right? You're doing a Dreamville festival?
Yes.
And so who's going on that? Everybody? Do you know yet?
We're gonna announce it soon.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
like, don't make me announce something I'm not
Yeah,
ready to announce it.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we announce it soon.
And is there another album coming like right away?
Oh,
Because you kind of teased
I'm gonna drop
that,
more music for sure.
but it's not an album?
The album that I was talking about, you talking about the Fall Off?
Yes.
That's that probably won't come for another year. I've
Okay.
been working on it though for like a year and a half. The False Prophets was supposed to be on the Fall Off. Everybody Dies in False Prophets that I put out before For Your Eyes Only were songs from the Fall Off. But
So you just have songs that like sit. That,
oh yeah, I'm working on. I got Kill Everywhere album I'm working on, which I'm mad excited about.
What does that sound like? What is that?
The future. It's crazy.
Will you have a cameo on that album? You should put Young
Maybe.
Thug on that album.
Yeah, it'd be hard. So I'm working on that. I'm working on the Fall Off, and then I think I have an EP for the Fall Off. I don't know how and I got more music,
Yeah.
and I just like, yo, before I'm done, I want to make sure I release. You know, I don't want to like look back 20 years and have a big vault of music that I didn't put out, especially when it's songs that I love. You know what I mean? They might not be like the album bar, but it's like, yo, I love that song. I love what I'm saying on it. So I'm trying to find a way to like
Get those out.
get those out. So.
You know, I know you directed your own videos, and you also directed that Royce the 5'9" video.
Yeah.
And you're doing like all these. Did you always do that?
It started with apparently, first of all,
Right. Okay.
I did ATM. Scott Laser, who does, he's like in-house
yes.
Dreamville director, he's a genius. Did ATM.
Got it.
And I just co-directed that with him, meaning like, you know, sitting by his side being like, boom, boom.
Right.
Like, yo, let's do that, or don't forget about this, or whatever the case is. But that was his idea front to back.
Got it.
Kevin's
Which is so
Heart
it's so
is
good.
so fire.
It's so good.
Kevin's Heart was my idea. As soon as I did the song, I had an idea for it. And so was the Royce video. So those were the two first videos that I've like myself been like, yo, I got the idea. I want to see this come to life, and I'm there for every shot. You know, like making sure.
Yeah, Royce told me you were in the edit. That you stayed.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were like,
Nah,
I was like, was he
yeah.
like a real director, or was he
No,
like?
it's like I'm
yeah.
in the editing room.
Yeah.
Crazy, even for ATM. You
Yeah.
know, like even though I didn't, you know, direct that outright with Scott, I'm in the editing room like the director. You know what I mean?
Do you see
To
that
me,
as
that's the funnest process.
Do you see that as a thing for you? That
100%.
maybe you could.
Because I want to direct. I want to write movies. I want to try my hand at acting. I want to.
You want to act, Cole? What would you be? What would you do? Like what?
I have no clue. I might suck.
You're gonna write a script, right?
That's 100% gonna happen.
You're gonna totally write a script. You're gonna be in the movie. You can't direct your first movie that you're in
Why not?
because.
What if I'm not in it crazy? If it's like a Spike Lee.
All
joint?
right, then maybe.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't direct. No. I wouldn't do that. I see what you're saying.
Because I don't think you could kill that both
Yeah,
sides
no,
of
that
the.
would be exhausting. By the way, I shot a
Let
video
it-
for somebody the other day. It wasn't my song. It was just a feature, and I was like, "Damn, I be working too hard," because it felt so good to just show up to the shoot and have somebody tell you like, yo, do this on
And
this
you were
part.
like- you were like,
I was just
okay.
like, yeah, I was just performing, and like there was some acting scenes and shit, and I was
Right.
like, man, I be doing
What
too
was
much.
it?
I can't say it because
Okay.
it's not announced yet. But
Okay. But a feature,
yeah,
a
yeah,
cameo.
it's a feature, yeah.
So we'll see more of that. I see that for you, like just
Thank you.
the vision that you have that could see movies and
Yep.
stuff like
I've been
that.
wanting to do that for a long time, and this is the time.
Did you see the Donald Glover video? Of
Oh
course
my
you
God,
did.
Yeah.
Amazing,
100%.
right?
It's insane. That video is incredible.
It's so good.
It's crazy.
How many times did you watch it?
I watched like 3 times.
You did?
But
Okay.
like back to back to back.
Right.
And that never happens. If I check something out, that never happens. If
Yeah.
I check something out, it's like, oh, I might not even make it through the whole video.
Right.
I watched that joint 3 times.
The full thing is so
Full
good,
jump.
right?
Yes.
What do you feel? What is inspiring you right now? Like other artists, things that people are doing.
Right now, like immediately nothing, because I just finished the album and I'm kind of like climbing back in. Like I just made a few beats the other day, wrote a couple rhymes, but like I haven't found, like I'm just starting. Okay, my tank was on E, and I'm just starting to fill it back up. You
Right.
know what I mean? So like as we currently speak, nothing. But
Really?
like nothing current.
Right.
I'm still on like jazz samples and like, you know, and I'm transitioning.
I feel like you were listening to Tribe when you made this album.
This last one,
Yeah. No?
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting though. I
The-
was really
the,
listening to that for the fall off.
Choose Wisely reminded me of
Oh, 100%.
a
yeah.
Tribe
Yep.
nod.
Yep.
Which I love as a theme for the album. Though.
Thank
The
you.
Choose Wisely thing,
That's
I think
it.
that should have been the name of the album. You know what I'm saying? So good.
Thank you.
So good.
The reason why I like Choose Wisely is because it's empowering, and it's also cautionary. But then it's like if you don't choose wisely, you make a mistake. Like my man that I told you sent me the IG post. It's like, or IG DM. If he slips up, which is like natural,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If he feels like he has an addiction and he's trying to stop, like, you know, you could only assume that maybe he would have a slip up. If he does,
Choose Wisely.
the reason why I like Choose Wisely is because it's like, yo, you get another choice. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all or nothing. It's not like, yo, pop the perk, like, I fucked
What's
up.
wrong with you?
Nah, it's like, bro, it's cool. Choose wisely. Like, you got another shot. It's an empowering
It is.
statement. It puts the power, like, in your hands, and it's like, you always got the choice to, like, you know, it's not, nothing's final.
Yeah.
You always got a chance today to, like, be the person you want to be.
It's really good. Maybe that'll be the name of your movie.
What's that?
Choose wisely.
I like that.
Of your script, working title.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Good. This time, you happy? I'm talking about like like life, music, how this album has been perceived.
The album is it's funny because my life is
You're a
mad
dad.
blessed. Yeah,
You're a
my life
dad.
is mad blessed, and my only stresses I notice come from. It's a deeper conversation about purpose. So it's like I just got done doing this album, where every day I have purpose. You know, beyond like clearly my obvious purposes as a father, as a husband, I got purpose on a more selfish level, right? But I feel like I've created a life where my purpose is too much placed in music. Where like I put too much of my purpose in music to where when I'm home and I come home, outside of like playing with my son, if I go 3 days without doing music, making a beat, writing a song, I start to feel like miserable. And I feel like it's because I haven't found purpose or placed purpose in other things. I don't care if it's taking out the garbage, doing the lawn. Like there's certain things, or there's certain things that,
Maintaining a household.
yes, there's certain things that people excuse you from doing when you're chasing something, or like you have a career like this, where it's like, you know, I got people that handle my business, my affairs. I was with Kevin Hart when we were shooting the video. This dude is approving all his invoices, looking over all his checks,
Wow.
breaking down the budgets to me, and it's just like, in that one act, there's so much purpose in that act. He's decided that this is important to me because, what? just feed my family. I remember a time when I couldn't get these checks, so I want to make sure that every dollar that I'm owed is coming to me. I'm assuming. I'm just putting words in his mouth. But regardless, there's purpose behind that act, right? Mm-hmm. With me, I feel like I need to literally restart and find purpose in like small things, whether it's that approving all my checks that are going out. Right now, it's like my wife is doing that, and like I'm cool with that. Like, oh, she's on it. Mm-hmm. But it's like I just gave up something that I could have had purpose in doing. I gave it away.
But you can't do everything. But you also can't do everything.
I'm not saying that I can.
Right.
What I'm saying is I can't just do one thing and then be a dad and a husband. No, I want to do
because the
mad
second
shit.
that doesn't do exactly what you wanted
then
to
I'm
do.
miserable. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If I go 3-4 days without making a song and like I start, I'm like, yo, that's
you put too much weight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting too much weight on these things when it's like, yo, I want to just. I go play ball too. Like I want to just play, and this is just the most recent pocket because I just dropped the album, so I'm noticing it. But you know, it wasn't like this last year when I was just
in the crib
chilling. But the fact that I'm noticing it, it gives me an opportunity of like correction, figuring out what that's coming from, and then ultimately my findings were that like, yo, I need to find purpose in smaller things and build up from there.
I'm so happy that this happened today. Thank you for calling me and trusting me. And
people got to know too, like you were already in Miami. We just called you last minute.
He was like, can you come to Miami? I was like, I'm already in Miami. It's
crazy
when shit is meant to happen.
For real. Thank you, Ange.
Cole.
We did this shit was first time, so it's like it ain't like it's no rules. So like, if you got something you want to ask me, it's like I got the responsibility to answer it too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to open this shit. What's good? First of all, you alright?
I'm a little pumped.
You little punk with J. Cole.
What's good, man?
How you feeling?
Good.
Yo, so there's people that's watching this right now that's probably like,
they probably won't believe it.
yeah,
they say it's Photoshop.
Yeah, fast. They losing their mind. There's people that fuck with me that are probably like, why? And then there's also people that fuck with me that like probably don't even, maybe might not be aware like exactly who you are. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you coming up right now and like your name is spreading every day. When I watch your videos, when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, I'm buying into the image. I'm like, yo, this little nigga's crazy. Like, he don't give a fuck. But as I started watching more of the videos, I was like, yo, this kid is smart. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure, but I was like, yo, this kid is smart. You know what I mean? Like, the more I looked into the videos, I'm like, yo, he knows more than what people might think he does. You know what I mean? Or that his image portrays. So I wasn't sure. And we ended up speaking on the phone. Somebody called my phone and you was there with them. I ain't gonna lie, I thought you was trying to set me up or some shit. I'm like, yo, he's 17, like a master troll. I think you wanted to FaceTime, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what'd I say? Like,
you're like, nah, you a big ass troll, I can't pick up. You don't put this shit on the internet. I'm like, nah.
Cause my album had just dropped like a week before that. And I thought if I FaceTimed you, I thought you would just screenshot the shit, go right to Twitter, you know what I mean? And like keep running with it more. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, it ain't that serious. Like, I can't talk to you, but I'm not ready for that yet. You know what I mean? Like, what I say, I was like, yo, we'll figure out, like, something to do. So, when I spoke to you on the phone, I'm just giving people the backstory because I know I feel like people would be like, how did this happen? So, when I spoke to you on the phone, I'm like, damn. Yo, he is smart. Like, I could tell just from talking to you on the phone. Like, you smarter than what people know, what people might give you credit for, and I think you're smarter than like what you even put out there. You know what I mean? I got that from being on the phone with you. But you know, I was still like, yo, he's still I don't know what the fuck he's doing. So when we met at Rolling Loud, it confirmed it. I was like, yo, he really like, you 17?
Yeah. 17.
I'm like, yo, he's 17, like, and he's smart. You know what I mean? I felt like, you know, I was just talking to somebody I already knew. So I appreciated that. I appreciated the conversation we had. It was like 15 minutes, but I feel like it was good. And during the conversation, it was so natural that's when I got the idea, like, yo, we should just do this exactly what we're doing right now on camera. And you was like, oh, I'm with it. Let's do it. So that's like the breakdown for people like that's probably wondering like what the fuck is going on.
How the hell did this happen?
Yeah. So, where you think? I don't know what we should talk about, but I got, just in case shit get weird, I got a list of shit that I can go to. But
Shit.
you know, is there any? I mean, I can go somewhere, but is there anything you want to say like before we get started? You don't have to, no pressure. But
how'd you get started like rapping and shit?
Me?
Yeah, how you get into rapping?
Damn, I had that question for you, but I'll tell you mine first. I had a cousin that first rap I ever wrote, I ain't gonna lie, it was Pac got killed in like '96. I was such a big Pac fan. Sure. I was in 6th grade and I felt like inspired, like man, like I'm supposed to say something. You know what I mean? So like I like wrote a whole rap that was like just talking about his influence and his effect, you know what I mean? Cause like he was my first favorite rapper, and when I was like 6 years old, my stepfather brought back a Pac album. He was in the army, and he was in Desert Storm, which was like, don't get me lying, but I think it was like Iraq or some shit like that. Like, you know, like one of those, Desert Storm was like a big war in like '91 or whatever. And he was over there, and I just remember when he came back, he wasn't my stepfather at this time. He was just like my mom's boyfriend. When he came back, he had a few albums, and one of the albums was Tupac's first album. And like I like music at that time, like, you know what I mean? Like I like Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, like and I like rap too, but like it was like more kid, you know, like I was a little kid. When he brought Pac, it was like he was the first rapper that like made me feel, as a 6-year-old, had me feeling like I had been through the realest shit. Like things he was saying, I felt like way more than what I was supposed to be feeling. Now I look back and I see it's like, yo, even at 6, I had saw enough shit that made those words like resonate with me. But so that's how long I had been like a Pac fan. Brenda's Got a Baby. It was like, I could feel that story. I felt all the emotion in what he was saying. And I didn't know that like rap could like make you feel like that. So picture when he died 5 years later. I'm older, I'm in 6th grade. It's the talk of the school. And I just felt inspired to like write a rap. That was my first rap. 2 years, maybe a year and a half after that, my cousin came and spent the summer with us. He was like 4 years older than me. He was mad cool. If I was like 12, he was like 16. He had mad girls. He had jerseys. He had jewelry. And we played ball together all the time and just hung out all summer. But one thing he used to do was like just freestyle. And I used to be like, damn, this nigga just freestyling. Like, teach me how to do that. And he was just like, teach you how to do it. He was like, you could just do it. He's just like, you just say words, you know what I mean? And like rhyming. So like, that's when I really started picking it up. Was from there. And I just took it way more serious after that, after he left. What about you? What was your first, I guess, when you started rapping?
Me, probably like a year and a half ago, like 2. It was with,
Wait, a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I just started.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like 2000, like, went 18, like 16.
Damn.
And in 2016.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Basically, like, almost the same shit, but like, I'll just be freestyling next to, you know, Smoke Perk. Yeah. So.
That's your man?
Yeah.
Like, y'all grew up together?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My best friend, yeah. So, like, basically, I, like, me and him would just be freestyling and shit, and then, like, in the car and shit, smoking blunt, and then bro was like, man, you start rapping. I'm like, what? Start rapping? Fuck, like, all the time, like, just do it. You hard, and then I just started doing that shit.
What you mean? So, like, y'all was already freestyling?
Type shit, but we ain't take it serious. Well, he was recording. I wasn't.
Oh, so he was already like, he had dreams and aspirations to already be a rapper.
Yeah, he started like a couple months before me, not that long. And then
y'all went to school together?
Yeah.
Okay, so he started. My bad. He started a few months before you, and then what?
Yeah, and then he got me into rapping, and then we just started doing that shit. We started blowing up out of nowhere. It was weird. It was crazy. We're like, damn, shit really happened.
Bro,
yeah.
2 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
That shit's crazy.
But
you know,
so if I see cause I seen some videos of you and you just look like even younger than you do now, and that's so you was like what 15 around that time? Or?
Yeah, 15.
Man.
I'm 17. But yeah, I'll be freestyling shit around him, and then he was like, record that shit. I was like, all right, fuck it. Like my first song was recorded like on headphones and a laptop.
That's crazy.
Like
At his
iPhone
crib?
headphones, yeah. It's just crazy.
Who beat was it?
It was like a YouTube beat.
Yeah?
Yeah. YouTube beat. And then YouTube beat, and then I just put that shit out. And then after I started recording like a little home studio in the garage.
At his
Some
crib?
shit. Nah, my other boy's crib.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then that's when I made my song Lil Pump. Perp produced it, and that shit started going up. And I just kept going after that.
That was one of your first
songs.
Wait, you said it was Smoke Perp?
Yeah,
He's the rapper or is a producer? My bad.
Rapper.
Yeah.
But he makes beats too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
He was making beats even at that time, or is it something
Yeah.
he just started?
Yeah. Shit was crazy though. Cause it really happens quick. Like the whole process.
You mean like from when you started to like being right now?
Yeah.
That's why I'm over here like kind of in shock, because I can't even imagine like shit going that fast. You know what I mean? Like, did you feel like, damn, this shit like almost too fast, or was you like, nah, this is right on time, like this is what I needed?
This is what I needed type shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, man, I grew up, I didn't really have shit, so I was like, I gotta like do some shit. I fucking got kicked out of school, all that bullshit. I was
What grade was that?
like, when I first started kicked out, it was like 7th grade. I was like smoking weed in the bathroom and shit. But then like I got kicked out of all schools, and I was in like 10th
What
grade.
happened in 10th grade?
Like just fights and shit.
Wow.
This bullshit. I kicked out like fuck.
Was it like a white school, black school?
Both.
Mixed?
Like, hella.
Like, damn, that's kind of harsh. Like, you
Yeah,
just
fuck
kick
that.
somebody out of school. I don't know if that's, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's regular, but damn,
Yeah.
that don't seem extreme to you.
Yeah. You know, like people be looking at weed like it's crack or some shit.
Yeah. After they expelled you from school, like, what did they expect you to do? Was it close to the end of the school year? Was it like?
Oh no, it was like in the start, like the first 2 semesters.
So what'd you do for the rest of the year?
I was just like at home rapping, just like doing what I gotta do. You know, started rapping and shit, and it just started going up. So like, fuck it, fuck all this school.
Oh, this
shit.
is you talking about? This is like 10th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. I was thinking about 7th grade.
Oh no, 7th grade. Nah, I went to another school and then I just kept it going.
Oh, okay.
After that,
Was your parents was?
they were mad.
Wait, cause we talked about it. I asked you this. I know, so they don't know. I asked you like, yo, one of the first things I asked you when we got on the phone, I'm like, yo, like you cool with your moms, like, and you and your moms are tight, right?
Yeah, we're real cool.
And your pops too.
Yeah, both of them.
So, and your mom be out like with you on the road, right? Or like she travel, or she not on the road, like she coming to Rolling Loud or your shows,
Yeah.
but like, but like you keep her around, right? Like when you're
Yeah.
in LA, she's around.
Of course, yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
So when you get kicked out of school in 7th grade, like what's her reaction?
She was mad as fuck.
Why? Like, was it
'Cause-
because did she already know you was smoking, or was that shit a shock to her?
Nah, kind of
Period.
shocked her because I don't think she knew. She didn't know because I was young as fuck at that time. Like 14 or some shit, 13.
Right. Yeah. 7th grade, that's like 12, 13.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. And then
So did she look at you like yo, that's my baby, like that's like
Yeah,
like
type
you would
shit.
never do nothing like that?
yeah, she was like, what the fuck? Like, can't believe you're doing this. I'm like, man, it's just weed. Like,
Uh-huh.
ain't no crazy shit. So,
Was it 7th grade when you started smoking?
like 6.
6th grade. So like, what led you to that? You know what I mean? To be in 6th grade, be like, yo, I'm just smoking weed already.
I like had some homies that like fucking like I'll always be smoking and shit. I see them
Neighborhood
all
or
the time.
at the school?
Nah, like at school.
Got it.
So like, I see them smoke on there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, need to smoke. Like, let me hit that shit. And then I got high as fuck. I was like, what the fuck? Then I smoked again, and I was like, oh, this shit ain't that bad straight. You got used to it.
So your mom finds out and she's in disbelief because it's like, damn, I didn't even know you was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, Mom, it's not even a big deal. Like, just relax.
No.
She like, what you mean it's not a big deal? Fuck you talking about? Was she like,
Nah, yeah, she was on that.
did she like get way more strict on you?
tight? She was mad because I would be getting in trouble in school. Like, it's always some shit. Like, always. So it'd be like, she'll be tripping because she didn't want me to drop out or whatever. But that shit ended up happening anyways.
Like she could see it coming?
Yeah.
Where your mom from? She from Miami too?
Nah, she's Colombian.
Oh, she's like straight from Colombia.
Yeah.
She came here when she was a kid.
Nah, she had my brother. My brother.
How old?
He is 21 or 22, I think.
Oh wow. What about your pops? You met your pops over there?
Over there too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you
Yeah,
Colombian.
Yeah.
So when did your parents split up?
Like like 6.
You remember that?
Yeah, a little bit.
So like you remember
Like
your parents being
Christmas, too.
together? It was Christmas
Yeah.
when they split up, or when they told you?
No, when they split up.
How long before your mom met your stepfather, or like started bringing your stepfather around?
Like 2 years, 3 years after.
What did you think when he came around? Was it like,
I ain't like that nigga. Fuck
Right.
that nigga.
right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Cause bro's is an asshole.
From the jump,
Yeah.
he didn't try to like hit you with the polite boyfriend shit.
Nah, fuck.
What's your first memory?
Oh man, niggas just like hella rude. I ain't fuck with that nigga at all. He used to do like fucked up shit, you know.
He's not around no more.
No. At all. He ain't around. Stepdad shit. Niggas be acting like dickheads. I don't even fuck with them.
Yeah, I realized that as I got older. Like, man, that shit.
You had stepdad too, huh?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was weird looking back. Like, I knew it was weird at the time, but it's like when you're a kid, at least the type of kid I was, it's like you just, you be ignoring shit.
Yeah.
Try to like block shit out or whatever, but like when I look back, I just remember times being like mad, wanting to do something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes shit was good though. I don't know if it was like that in your house. It was like sometimes like
Yeah.
shit be mad peaceful.
You know,
They look like they in love. Shit be feeling good in the house. You know what I mean? Shit be like, all right, let's just keep this shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see her happy. I like to see him happy.
Right.
Everybody good? My brother, you good?
Yeah.
I'm good. Cool. But like when shit got turbulent, it started feeling like fuck, I just want this shit to end, be over with. You know what I mean? Like go back to being good. Even though I knew like deep down it's like, yo, this is not healthy relationship. You know what I mean? Like this is not healthy activity happening in this house. Like certain situations that happen where it's just like, yo, this is, feeling like I'm too small to like really stick up for my mom. You know what I mean? That shit is like, shit is a trash feeling. But I didn't realize till I got older that it's like, yo, that shit was unhealthy. Like it really made me appreciate healthy stepfathers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like dudes that come into a relationship, not even just healthy stepfathers, because I can't just put on my stepfather. Like I understand that my mother, because of what she went through in her life, like I understand that she was like in an unhealthy space herself to even allow herself to be in a position where it's like, yo, somebody putting their hands on her, somebody talking to her a certain type of way, somebody dogging her out, got bitches on the side, somebody putting their hands on her kids. It's like, I understand that she had some healing to do herself to even put herself in that situation. And he did too. But it just really made me look at, it made me realize how important of a job like being a stepfather is. Like, yo, if you get with a woman and she has a child, like, yo, you have a responsibility to like not put your shit that you got in you on this kid. You know what I mean? I just realized that like obviously I never thought about it before till I got older. Like, yo, that shit is a big responsibility, and I respect somebody that would like love a woman so much that they get into a relationship with her even though she got kids.
Yeah.
Cause that's not an easy thing to do. But when you take on that responsibility, it's like, yo,
You gotta do that shit.
you gotta do it, and you gotta check yourself, and you gotta like treat these kids how you would treat your own kids, or even better, because like they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Did you feel like that in similar ways?
Yeah. Like, bro used to look at me like, man, you ain't gonna be shit. Like, on that shit. Cause I always used to curse that nigga out, like, bro, you're a fucking bum or whatever. Like, bro, you used to get on a nigga, like, bro, you're a fucking bum. You had the same job for like 15 years. Like, you ain't shit. She get on his ass.
Damn.
And so, you know.
What made you say that? Like, why was he?
Cause like he'll always argue with me for stupid shit, you know. Like just smoking weed, like the house smell like weed, like retarded shit like that. And I used to get in arguments with my mom, and then you know, I used to get into it with him.
But like, the house smelling like weed, like, don't you think if you was like, how old would you think he was? 30 something, 40?
Yeah, 30 something.
You think if you was a 30 something year old dude and you was living in a house, it was your house, you paying bills in the house, and you had a step kid that was like burning down the house and had the shit smelling like weed, like, don't you think you would be like, the fuck you doing, you know?
Not really. I
Nah?
wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care?
Nah, cause I was blowing it down inside of it. I was like, it would just smell like weed.
Oh, cause you smell like weed.
Yeah.
So could it possibly be that cause you say he a piece of shit, and I'm not doubting that. I'm not disputing that. I'm just trying to see, is there a side of your stepfather that you like, you know what? Like, he did give a fuck about me, and maybe he was doing that shit from a place of concern, or is it like, nah, I can't see that?
Yeah, it's like, fuck that nigga still. I still don't fuck with bro.
I feel you.
I don't know, man. It was just, he even told me straight up, like, I don't fuck my nigga. I don't fuck with you either. Like, fuck. It was just like,
how did you feel when he said that? Like, you didn't give a fuck, or did it hurt?
I don't give a fuck. Fuck that nigga. I ain't care that nigga either. Like, last time I saw him was when like we started arguing, and I just put out a strap on him, and that's when like whole shit ended.
I remember you was telling me about that.
Yeah.
How?
Like he was arguing with me, and he was trying to fight with me. I was like 16 at the time. I was like, really trying to fight a 16-year-old? Nah, he's a little bit fat. Like, look, he's a little bit chubby, but he's not big.
Yeah.
But bro was just like, he was trying to get into it. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, what up, nigga? And I put on a strap, and I aimed that shit at him, bro. Just spooked. He ran inside.
Sheesh. What would make him even get to that level? Like
the weed shit. Smelling like weed in the house. He just got tired of that shit. He like, man, you always doing that shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And then, you know, he started arguing. And then I told him the same shit. I'm like, bro, you're a fucking bum. And then he got mad. And he was trying to fight me and shit. And then that's when I put a strap on him. And after I did that shit, like, I just left my mom's crib. Never went back.
Did you ever feel like damn, why you, like, almost like, why you choosing this dude over me? Like,
nah, yeah. That's exactly how I felt.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
Did you ever ask her that? Or tell her that?
Yeah, but she like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, fuck that shit. I want to hear none of that shit, you know. I was just, fuck all that.
Damn, bro, that's deep.
Yeah.
You said 6th grade or 7th grade is when you start, like, smoking? It was like
yeah.
sixth grade? Do you think that, like, you being more open to doing that shit? Because you say that, you like, man, ain't no big deal. Like, I'm just smoking weed, man, chill out. Like,
yeah.
But, like, it's a bunch of 6th graders. The majority of 6th graders is like, whoa,
what the
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, these dudes in the bathroom is tripping, right?
Yeah.
Like, the fuck going on with them? When y'all would be like, y'all niggas square, like, y'all skip, boom. You know, is it possible that your stepfather coming around or your mom's boyfriend at that time coming around and then her, quote unquote, like, choosing him could have been, like, the cause of leaving you open to, like, being more susceptible to, like, outside influences? Like, yo, these niggas smoking in the bathroom, fuck it, I'll try that shit. Like, was it, like, is that the point that you start? Okay, before that, were you, what's your name, your real name?
Gazzy.
Gazzy.
Yeah.
Before that, was Gazzy like a good kid, a smart kid, a kid that would be like, it would be a shock to people that you would end up being one of them kids in the bathroom, like, chiefing?
Not really.
Not really, okay.
Yeah, I just started doing this because I was like, fuck it. Like,
got it. I be trying to make connections that's maybe not there. You know what I mean? But
I mean, well, a lot of people, yeah, like, for sure. But I just did that shit just cause, like, I just wanted to smoke. I was like, fuck it.
got it.
I never tried that shit, so, you know, people would be, I mean, we smoked before. It was, you know, you try that shit, oh, fuck it. Shit's far.
Yeah, but I feel like, me personally, it's not like judging, but I feel like if I was more if I had a more stable home, put it like that. I feel like if the household was more stable, I'd have been less susceptible to get into the shit that I got into. Same thing goes for my brother. And it's not like I got in some deep shit, but I feel like I was more susceptible to try shit as opposed to somebody that's coming from 2-parent household, stable, no problems in the house, no abusive situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I might be making connections that don't exist. But my thought is like, damn. Like, put it like this. My son's smoking weed in the 6th grade in the bathroom. Like, I'm feeling like, yo, what's going on? Like, we got to talk. Like, you're going in the wrong direction. Yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. You smoking cigarettes in the 6th grade in the bathroom, let alone you smoking weed. It's like, you know, it's like, what got you doing this? Because you said it. You seen your homeboy smoking. Yeah. It's not like you woke up one day like, I want to smoke weed today. Yeah. No, you saw your homeboys doing it, and was just like, fuck it. Yeah, I'll try that. Boom, boom. But I feel like somebody that's coming from a healthier household, something that shit, I hope that one day I can provide for my kids, and hopefully, I'm sure you probably want to provide the same type of environment for your kids one day if you plan on having kids. Yeah. So it's like, what I think is like, from that environment, you put that same kid in that same bathroom, even if they is friends, they smoking weed, I feel like he gonna be like, I'm straight. Like, I'm good. Yeah. We can still hang out. Like, I ain't judging y'all, but like, I'm good on that. Like, I'm all right. So I might be, you know, my bad. I'm trying to make connections that don't really go. But I'm hearing your story.
Those do go. I feel like everything people be going through, like whatever, we went through, made sure we are today. You know, like all that bullshit you go through. So if you didn't go through that shit, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Right.
Probably, you know. That's how I look at it.
That's real. Before you started rapping, like, what type of music did you like?
I used to listen to a lot of like Chief Keef and shit.
Word.
Yeah.
You love Chief Keef.
Yeah. Folk bro hard. That's like who I looked up to. So I was like, man.
What was it about his shit that you like?
Man, just everything. Just like Chief Keef, man, niggas crazy. Bro was lit. I don't know, it was like a whole different era he came with. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? Bro, it was crazy. You know?
What you remember what grade you was in when Chief Keef got?
Like sixth grade. About.
Before that, what did you like?
Before that, I was listening to
your parents were Columbia, right? So what type of music was they playing? Was it like?
Nah, like I wouldn't listen to no Spanish. I be bumping like 50 Cent, shit like that.
So before that was 50?
Yeah, it's like old shit, you know. Ludacris.
Yeah.
And shit like that. When Sosa came out, it was like,
oh, it was different.
It's crazy, yeah.
And then you start rapping like, what, like 9th grade, 8th grade, something like that? Or 10th?
Type shit, yeah.
Yeah. So like that's where the style was from? Was it like based on like that drill shit, like more like just harder shit?
Yeah. It was like that, and then I tried to mix it up with like my own shit. Uh-huh. Then it kind of like came out.
Did you ever feel like, man, them niggas is like really, I said something to you about it on Friday, but like, yo, them dudes is really from a war zone, like, whereas like, the shit they be talking about is like, it's crazy, but it's like, it really goes down. Did you ever feel like, man, like how can I, like basically you talk about a lot of crazy shit too, but I feel like your shit be like so exaggerated that you know, like, yo, this nigga just like, you know, he don't even take himself serious. You know what I mean? Like, he just fucking having fun. Yeah. But did you ever feel a conflict of like, damn, I can't talk about such and such because I ain't do such and such, or like, or...
Most of the shit I talk about, I've done before. I'm talking about a lot of drugs and shit. I used to take a lot of drugs, bro. I slowed down for all that bullshit, you know? That shit is all just a waste, bro. And I see people dying off that shit, so, you know, like, fuck all that.
Do you ever feel like, I asked you this on Friday, but do you ever feel like, damn, these people don't even know that, like, I got another side that's, like, more intelligent? Like, they only know one side. They don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I like being turned shit. You know, there's a time and place for everything, but, you know.
You don't care if they know the other side?
Yeah, I don't really care. You know, everybody's human at the end of the day, you know. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they think I'm stupid, but I ain't stupid. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But I seen that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But I asked you the question on Friday too, like, if you are smarter than the average bear, like, you know what you're doing, you're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
My concern, if it's a kid that look at you like, they look up to you, you know what I mean? Like, you somebody that has an influence now. You know what I mean? Like, you somebody that's sitting in the seat where it's like, yo, you got this amount of kids that like fuck with you and look up to you. Out of those kids, I think personally, now once again, this is my opinion, like, bro, I could be wrong. I think out of them kids, it's a percentage of those kids, I don't know what that percentage is, but it's a percentage of those kids that might know that you like trolling in a sense. Like, yo, he just doing wild shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because he knows that that's what the fuck this shit is about. Like, that's how you get attention. He's just a wild dude. Like, and they not taking it too serious, right? Like, oh, this nigga sip lean, this nigga pop pills, this nigga do X, Y, and Z, right? Yeah. I also think it's kids that fuck with you that are like more vulnerable. You know what I mean? They come from households like maybe like yours or even more fucked up than yours, where it's like they need guidance in a sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say that like you supposed to be anybody's fucking the one to guide anybody. You know what I mean? You 17, but I do wonder, like, damn, do you ever think about the fact that like, yo, it's kids that like that fuck with me, and just by me promoting this shit or promoting like this side of me and not showing them the other side that's really like, yo, smart and like calculated and like really, bro, to me you strike me as somebody that's too smart to do too much. That's the impression I get from you. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, you know when to turn it on and turn it off. You know, it's like, yo, like, I'll wild out, but like, I'm not gonna go this far. I fuck with this shit, but I'm not gonna go this far. But I feel like people don't see that side of you. You know what I mean? All they see is like turn side. So yeah, all they see is the trolling shit. So
yeah.
So my question to you is like, damn, do you ever think like, yo, maybe that shit is affecting them in the wrong way or like influence them in a way that's like actually like harmful to them?
Nah, not really.
Nah.
I mean, I stopped mourning on that bullshit like a couple months ago, you know. I mean, all that Xanax and all that bullshit, I don't really fuck with none of that shit, you know. I put all that shit to the side, but not really. I don't really be thinking about that shit, you know.
Oh, this is what I want to ask when I was talking to you about, like, basically, like, yo, the first few songs, did they go? And I guess the reason why I asked that, I wanted to get an idea, like, your work ethic. You know what I mean? Like, when you work, are you working every day making new shit now? Or is it like, yo, you got your times where you get in? What's your work ethic like? Meaning, like
if I record every day?
Yeah, like, is this shit so easy for you? It's like, yo, every time I go in, it's a fucking smash. Or is it like, yo, I really got to go in every day and, like, work at this shit and, like, try new ideas every day?
Yeah. Like what you said, like, I was going every day, you know? Just come up with new shit, different sounds, new beats. I just tried to find, like, I don't know. Because all my beats be sounding different, like, I don't know. And I don't like hopping on just any beat. I gotta like,
you picky?
know, yeah, I hella picky with beats. It gotta be like a crazy beat that I like a lot. I'll be like, okay.
And then when you find the beat you want, what do you do? What's your step? Like, what's your process?
I'll sit in the studio and freestyle some shit, come up with a fire hook, just put it on there, and just roll from that.
You start with the hook?
Yeah.
And then do you hop on the mic, like you cut the mic on and then start freestyling, or you freestyling like in the room where everybody's at?
Yeah, like in the room, and then like sometimes like I'll put the mic inside the studio, like right here, like right next to the engineer, or like outside.
Like in the control room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. Is it every time you go in the studio, you gonna come up with something, or is it like, do you have nights where it's like, bro, I ain't come up with shit, like?
I mean, both. It's nice that I come up with some crazy shit. That's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. Do you get frustrated when you don't come up with nothing, or is it like, fuck, I'll get it on the next one?
Not really. No. That shit happens, but getting out that bitch. It's all about having fun with it, bro. Just be having fun. Sometimes, like, shit gets too, like, I don't know. when you take shit too serious, you don't come out with no crazy shit.
So,
Come out with some crazy shit.
when did you? Where was you at when you, I guess, came up with the fuck J. Cole shit?
You just got your paper?
I really wrote it down. Cause if I didn't wrote it out, I would have fucking forgot. Yeah.
So basically, I don't know. We was sitting like in a room one day and I seen that shit in my like in my comments. People were like, fuck J. Cole, fuck J. Cole. I'm like,
Oh, so it was already happening.
yeah, low key, yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I was thinking like,
Did you know why they were saying that? Like, was you so in tune with what was happening that you knew like why they were saying that?
like damn.
You still don't know why they were saying that.
I mean, but now I kind of get it, cause like we make different type of music, so people like I don't know, you know, they'll feel some type of way like, oh fuck this, fuck that. But, you know, I started doing that, people were just like, fuck it, you know. That was like basically like the trend, like, you know, everybody saying fuck J. Cole, whatever, blah blah. Now it's like everybody saying fuck Russ, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I see even getting it. That's
Yeah,
damn.
you know, it's just, I don't know, bro. People just like doing that shit. But yeah, it was even like serious. Like I fuck with your shit. That shit's hard, you know.
Thank you, bro.
For real, for real. But not like, oh fuck this nigga. Like,
Nah, I mean, I realized that in time.
all right, it was all trolling and shit.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it worked. Once you seen it started picking up, you had to be like, oh yeah, I'm about to run with this. Like,
Wow. I know, like that shit's gonna go. I did that shit. I'm kept it going. Wow.
did you even think it would get to the point of like, of even this, where it's like, or where we would have a conversation? Like,
Never.
never.
You either.
Hell nah. Nah, no way. Nah, no way.
That's just crazy.
But I felt like this was the this or something like this was like the best way to like to do something, because it's like it's really a I feel like it's a divide right now, like a cultural divide. It's like a new wave of kids who like love this type of shit. You know what I mean? They young, they predominantly white, you know what I mean? Like, and they love this style of music. Then you got people that love this style of music, of hip hop, and it's like they can't understand. And by the way, I was one of them, bro. I seen it was like 2 years ago. I seen one of the freshman covers of one of the freshman freestyles, and I was like sad, like I was like, damn, this shit really over. Like, I know now that I was wrong. All I was doing was being afraid that the thing that like I fell in love with, you know what I mean, was like no longer like relevant or respected. And in that moment, it brought fear. Like, damn, like this shit is really over. Now in time, I realized like, nah, that's not true. Like, this shit is just taking another course. It's just another branch in the tree. You know what I mean? Like, these kids are starting something new. They doing their own thing. Like, they doing what they want to do and having fun with what they want to do. Shit, hip hop was started like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit was started out on some fun shit. It turned into real serious shit, like the shit that I like, the shit that I like to do.
Yeah.
But it started out in the parties. You know what I mean? It started out like on some fun shit. So I had to realize that for myself, and then like actually spend time with the music. I spent time with your music. Like, I'm going to pick up food and I'm playing your little EP, and like damn, this shit hard. Like, these songs short. You know what I mean? This nigga got funny ass lines. Your mama still live in a tent. Like, like I'm laughing in the car. Like, yo, this dude is funny. Like, you know, like it ain't nothing like what I grew up on, and like, and even what I make, and what I like what I prefer. But it's like, what I'm gonna do? Be scared of this? Like, deny this? Deny you were like expressing yourself however the fuck you want to do that? You know what I mean? Like,
So over time, I started to realize like, yo, I'm tripping, like, and I'm resisting. I'm resisting this shit when it's really I should be like accepting this shit, you know, and like appreciating that it's different and appreciating that, you know, something new is happening. You know, so I say all that to say like, I feel like doing this was like the best way. Like I did the 1985 shit. We'll talk about it in a second because it was like I did that more, like I did that like maybe a year or so ago. That was closer to when I didn't understand what was going on all the way. Like I just hear niggas keep saying fuck J. Cole. I'm like, oh y'all said that? All right, let me peep what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. But the more I started to learn, and then like, and when we met, I'm just like, nah, the real way is to embrace you. You know what I mean? Like, and to show love. You know, when we talked on the phone or I met you in person, bro, like I really, in that moment, I'm like, man, I love this little dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I had like an appreciation for you. And I feel like this was the best way to show that like, yo, like I embrace you, bro. And like, and I feel like we not gonna get nowhere. You young, so like you don't know what it's like yet to love some shit, fall in love with some shit, and then watch it change on you. You know what I mean? Like imagine if you still wanted to do this when you was 30, right? And imagine when you just start turning 30, but like people don't fuck with the shit you doing no more. Cause now niggas like all the lyrical shit again or whatever it is. Or they like some new style that make you feel like, damn. Like if you already evolved and like you know was just accepting and open, which hopefully you will be. Everybody not like that. I wasn't like that. But if you like that, you're gonna be like, oh, that's what's up, man. I'm glad y'all doing your thing. But if you scared and fearful, you like, damn, that shit whack. Y'all niggas on this emo shit, man. That shit whack as fuck. That shit whack. But it's like, I'm only saying that because I'm scared that you're not gonna like my shit no more. You know what I mean? So it's like, I had to check myself and embrace, let that shit go and like, embrace what you do. You know what I mean? Regardless. And I felt like this was a dope way to do that. What did you think when you heard 1985? Or how did you even find out? Did somebody hit you? Was you like, yo, this nigga called? Like, how did you find out?
Just tagging me. I ain't hear it like until like a week ago, to be real.
Really? You just said, fuck it, I'm not listening to this shit.
Yeah, because everybody kept tagging me. I was like, I don't know what they talking about. And then I heard it one day, like in the car. I was like, but then they was saying that like, people were like, oh, he was even coming at you because he was saying some shit about black people. Like, I'm not even black. Yeah, right. So I was like, I don't even know about this point.
At that time, I didn't know if you was black or not, nigga. Honestly, you were, you know, you could be light skinned. You know what I mean? I ain't know what you was, but that was like, it wasn't just you, because you wasn't the only one saying it. The reason why I ain't say nobody's name is because it's like, yo, a few people might can wear this shoe or whatever, but when you finally heard it, or when you even heard about it, was you mad? Like, man, because I seen the video you did where you was like, man, oh, you talking about 17-year-old kid?
Not
like,
really. I wasn't mad, you know. I was just like, whatever. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm in my own lane. I do what I do. I have fun with it. I ain't, you know.
So you wasn't even like, yo, like, I just came up, like, you know, like ultimately it's more attention on you.
I mean, yeah, type show, like, you just gave me hella clout.
Oh, you did say that, yeah.
I was like, shit, you know, if a rapper like you like talking about it, like, it's because I'm doing some shit, you know.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, shit, I'm doing something right.
Right.
You know. Well, I didn't really pay mind to it like that. I wasn't like, oh man, fuck this nigga.
Got it.
Fuck. Doing my own shit at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shit, that's what's up, bro. I fucking unless you got some shit for me, I don't know if I got anything else. I can make up some shit.
When did you first hear of me? Like,
I seen a video of you. I think the first thing I seen was a video of you had a backpack. And like you was at school or some shit. You had a backpack, which of course you was doing a bunch of ratchet type shit. But like, you had a backpack. You know what I'm talking about? Video I'm talking about? Like you was at a school or something. Like
What did I do? Like the video?
I mean, you rap it to the camera. Like
Oh.
oh, it wasn't like an IG video. It was like a music video.
Oh. I know you're talking about that. That's fucking ago.
What song is that?
Some song called Elementary.
What's it called?
Elementary.
Yeah.
That one,
It was just How the hook go?
I've been since elementary.
I've been doing some.
So how do you call it? Oh, I've been selling bricks since elementary. And that was an old ass song. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I think when I seen it, it was already popping. Like it's not like I seen it early. You know what I mean? When I seen it, it was popping, and I was just like, all right, like, you know, like I seen it. I'm like, okay, this shit is fun, it's funny, but I ain't know to like. I just registered that memory in my mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then the next time I heard about you was, I don't even know how I seen it, by the way. I don't have no clue like how I stumbled upon it. It's just going through YouTube. Cause at a certain point, basically, look, I've been mad disconnected. Like up until like last year, I purposely like disconnected from like just like social media. I wasn't really that connected to what was happening in music, what was going on. So like at a certain point, I decided like, yo, I need to like tune back in. I want to be a fan again, put it like that.
Yeah.
Like, been doing this shit so long, I got like jaded in a way. Where it's like, you know, like, man, like.
No, yeah, see, cause like, I like try to look you up on Insta, but like your shit was like, I guess it was like, this it was disabled or some shit.
My Instagram was?
No, like you like didn't have, what do you call it?
Oh, I ain't had no pictures or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, you like, I think you kind of like shut it down or whatever, but then you came back.
Yeah, like I won't be on social media. I cut all that, like basically I just stopped going on that shit. But I felt like it was.
It was good though, cause they work and shit, you know.
It was good, but it was also bad because it's like inspiration is everything. Like if I stop being a fan of this shit, then I stop being inspired. You know what I mean? Like part of going so hard, like Chief Keef. Like who knows if you would have went so hard with this shit if you didn't love him so much. You know what I mean? If you didn't have somebody to look up to and like somebody to like dive into their shit and be like, yo, how does bro come up with these flows? Like, how does he say all this wild shit? So like at a certain point I realized like, man, I need to just be a fan again. I don't give a fuck if I'm just looking on random YouTubes or whatever, like, because one thing I noticed about some of my peers is like they stay connected. They stay fans. Like they always know about, like when I be talking to these niggas, it's like they be knowing about all type of artists. Like I'm like, how the fuck you hear about him? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, I be on it. Like they stay on it. So I felt like I was missing out on that. I got so detached from the world that I started missing out on like being a fan of music. So that's how I ended up stumbling upon your shit. Somewhere along my journey, it was like maybe a suggested video or something, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I got to check you out. Yeah, exactly. So, and then after that, I started hearing the fuck. So that was even before the fuck J. Cole shit. So when I started hearing the fuck J. Cole shit, I was like, oh, it's old boy. Like, damn, why? Like, well, you know, like, if he only knew, you know, I seen his shit. You know what I mean? But like, that's the first time I remember hearing your shit. Elementary. When did you do that song?
Like a year and a half ago. About.
How long after you, from when you did it to when you put it out, did that shit start like bubbling?
Within like 2 months,
That's
3
so
months.
crazy to me. Like,
yeah,
the fact that you can like nowadays go from 0 to 100 so fast, like that shit is insane. On your own, right? You ain't had no
labels. Really.
That's crazy.
When I got a label, that's when I like started putting out more videos and shit. You know, we didn't start looking more corporate. You know, all that. I had to put out a project. I just put out my first project like 5 months ago. So yeah.
How you like it? Like how you like putting out projects versus like just putting out a song?
It's better.
It's better?
Yeah.
Why?
Cause I don't know. It feels like I feel like that's what fans like when you put out like a body of work, put it up instead of a song. But the songs be going is what pops a lot too. You put out that one song.
Right.
So how long like did it take you for you to start like popping and shit? Like when you first started popping?
Bro. Like meaning what? Like up until I got signed?
Yeah, type shit.
Or like after I got signed and when my shit started bubbling?
Well, both types.
Both?
Yeah.
Bro. So basically, I was rapping like since like maybe 7th, 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
And I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, like real small. So I went to New York for college. And I was like, damn, if I go to New York, at least I'm around the labels, because shit was way different back then. Like, bro, I went to school. Like, you was born in what, 2001?
Not 2000.
2000? Okay, so I went to school in 03. Like, that's when I went out to college. So I obviously think about, like, the music business was way different. It sounds crazy saying that, because, like, my whole life growing up, the music business was one way. And now it's, like, nothing like that. But at that time, the labels held so much power. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the internet was around, but like wasn't nobody, wasn't nobody getting their music off the internet. Like only a few people, like at school, it'd be a few dudes that like knew how to like go download music off the internet, and then they burn them on CDs, then they come to school and sell them for like $5. Like that was how people was using the internet. But like it wasn't no average Joe like me going and getting my music from the internet. They had like Napster and like shit like that, but it wasn't like today. Like if Eminem or 50 Cent or Jay-Z dropping an album, they not putting their song on the internet first. They going straight to radio. So the labels was controlling all of that. So I knew like, yo, if I want to get on, like, and I really want to take this music thing like and make it happen, which I did, I gotta go be around the labels. It wasn't no label in North Carolina. It wasn't no label in Fayetteville. So I went to New York. When I went to school, I ain't gonna lie, like the first 2 years, like I went to college because I was always gonna go to college. Like I was always on that path. But I went to school in New York because I had one goal with music. But I ain't gonna lie, when I got to New York, it was so popping and school was so fun that like I barely made music my freshman, sophomore year. Like I literally had to tell myself like, yo, you gotta you gotta remember what you came here for, basically. Split up a relationship with her, and you got
I don't like he was arguing with me, and he was trying to fight with me. I was like 16 at the time. I was like, we're trying to fight a 16-year-old. Nah, he's a little bit fat. Like, look, he's a little bit chubby, but he's not big.
Yeah.
But bro was just like, he was trying to get into it. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, what up, nigga? And I put on a strap and I aimed that shit at him, bro. Just spooked. He ran inside.
Sheesh. What would make him even get to that level? Like
the weed shit. Smelling like weed in the house. He just got tired of that shit. He like, man, you always doing that shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And then, he started arguing. And then I told him the same shit. I'm like, bro, you're a fucking bum. And then he got mad. And he was trying to fight me and shit. And then that's when I put strap out on him. And after I did that shit, like, I just left my mom's crib. And never went back.
Did you ever feel like damn, why you like, almost like, why you choosing this dude over me? Like,
nah, yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
Did you ever ask her that, or tell her that?
Yeah, but she like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, fuck that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I was just, fuck all that.
Damn, bro, that's deep.
Yeah.
You said 6th grade or 7th grade is when you start like smoking? It was like
yeah.
sixth grade. Do you think that like you being more open to doing that shit? Cause you say that, you like, man, ain't no big deal. Like, I'm just smoking weed, man, chill out. Like,
yeah.
But like, it's a bunch of 6th graders. The majority of 6th graders is like, whoa,
what the
fuck. Yeah. Like, these dudes in the bathroom is tripping, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck going on with them? When y'all would be like, y'all niggas square, like, y'all skip, boom. Is it possible that your stepfather coming around or your mom's boyfriend at that time coming around and then her, quote unquote, like choosing him could have been like the cause of leaving you open to like being more susceptible to like outside influences? Like, yo, these niggas smoking in the bathroom, fuck it, I'll try that shit. Like, was it, like, is that the point that you start? Okay, before that, were you, what's your name, your real name?
Gazzy.
Gazzy.
Yeah.
Before that, was Gazzy like a good kid, a smart kid, a kid that would be like, it would be a shock to people that you would end up being one of them kids in the bathroom like chiefing?
Not really.
Not really. Okay,
Yeah, I just started doing this because like, I was like, fuck it. Like,
got it. I
try
be
it
trying to
this
make
one.
connections that's maybe not there. You know what I mean? But
I mean, well, a lot of people, yeah, like for sure. But I just did that shit just cause like I wanted to smoke. I was like, fuck it.
got it.
I never tried that shit, so you know people would be I mean, we smoked before. You know, you try that shit. Oh fuck it, shit's far.
Yeah, but I feel like, me personally, it's not like judging, but I feel like if I was more, if I had a more stable home, put it like that. I feel like if the household was more stable, I'd have been less susceptible to get into the shit that I got into. Same thing goes for my brother. And it's not like I got in some deep shit, but I feel like I was more susceptible to try shit as opposed to somebody that's coming from 2-parent household, stable, no problems in the house, no abusive situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I might be making connections that don't exist. But my thought is like, damn. Like, put it like this. My son's smoking weed in the 6th grade in the bathroom. Like, I'm feeling like, yo, what's going on? Like, we got to talk. Like, you're going
Direction.
Yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. You smoking cigarettes in the 6th grade in the bathroom, let alone you smoking weed. It's like, you know, it's like, what got you doing this? Because you said it. You seen your homeboy smoking.
Yeah.
It's not like you woke up one day like, I
wanna
want to smoke weed
yeah,
today.
yeah.
No, you saw your homeboys doing it, and was just like, fuck it, yeah, I'll try that. Boom, boom. But I feel like somebody that's coming from a healthier household, something that shit, I hope that one day I can provide for my kids, and hopefully, I'm sure you probably want to provide the same type of environment for your kids one day if you plan on having kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, what I think is like, from that environment, you put that same kid in that same bathroom, even if they is friends, they smoking weed, I feel like he gonna be like, I'm straight. Like, I'm good. Yeah. We can still hang out. Like, I ain't judging y'all, but like, I'm good on that. Like, I'm all right. So I might be, you know, my bad. I'm trying to make connections that don't really go. But I'm hearing your story.
Those do go. I feel like everything people be going through, like whatever, we went through, made sure we are today. You know, like all that bullshit you go through. But if you didn't go through that shit, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Right.
Probably, you know. That's how I look at it.
That's real. Before you started rapping, like, what type of music did you like?
I used to listen to a lot of like Chief Keef and shit.
Word.
Yeah.
You love Chief Keef.
Yeah. Fuck bro hard. That's like who I looked up to. And so I was like, man.
What was it about his shit that you like?
Man, just everything. Just like Chief Keef, man, niggas crazy. Bro was lit. I don't know, it was like a whole different era he came with. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? Bro, it was crazy. You know?
What you remember what grade you was in when Chief Keef got?
Like sixth grade. About.
Before that, what did you like?
Before that, I was listening to
your parents were Columbia, right? So what type of music was they playing? Was it like?
Nah, like I wouldn't listen to Spanish. I be bumping like 50 Cent, shit like that.
So before that was 50?
Yeah. It's like old shit, you know. Ludacris.
Yeah.
And shit like that. When Sosa came out, it was like,
oh, it's different.
It's crazy, yeah.
And then you start rapping like, what, like 9th grade, 8th grade, something like that? Or 10th?
Type shit, yeah.
Yeah. So like that's where the style was from? Was it like based on like that drill shit, like more like just harder
almost,
shit?
Yeah. It was like that, and then I tried to mix it up with like my own shit.
Uh-huh.
Then it kind of like came out.
Did you ever feel like, man, them niggas is like really, I said something to you about it on Friday, but like, yo, them dudes is really from a war zone, like, whereas like the shit they be talking about is like,
It's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's like, it really goes down. Did you ever feel like, man, like how can I, like basically you talk about a lot of crazy shit too, but I feel like your shit be like so exaggerated that you know, like, yo, this nigga just like, you know, he don't even take himself serious. You know what I mean? Like, he just fucking having fun.
Yeah.
But did you ever feel a conflict of like, damn, I can't talk about such and such because I ain't do such and such, or like, or
most of the time, most of the shit I talk about I've done before. I'm talking about a lot of drugs and shit. I used to take a lot of drugs, bro. I slowed down for all that bullshit, you know. That shit is all just a waste, bro. And I see people dying off that shit, so you know, like fuck all that.
Do you ever feel like, I asked you this on Friday, but do you ever feel like, damn, these people don't even know that like I got another side that's like more intelligent? Like they only know one side. They don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I like being turned shit. You know, there's a time and place for everything, but you know.
You don't care if they know the other side.
Yeah, I don't really care. You know, everybody's human at the end of the day. You know. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, they think I'm stupid, but I ain't stupid. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But I seen that. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
But I asked you the question on Friday too. Like, if you are smarter than the average bear, like you know what you're doing, you aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
My concern, if it's a kid that look at you like they look up to you, you know what I mean? Like you somebody that has an influence now. You know what I mean? Like you somebody that's sitting in the seat where it's like, yo, you got this amount of kids that like fuck with you and look up to you. Out of those kids, I think personally, now once again, this is my opinion, like bro, I could be wrong. I think out of them kids, it's a percentage of those kids, I don't know what that percentage is, but it's a percentage of those kids that might know that you like trolling in a sense. Like, yo, he just doing wild shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because he knows that that's what the fuck this shit is about. Like, that's how you get attention. He's just a wild dude. Like, and they not taking it too serious, right? Like, oh, this nigga sip lean, this nigga pop pills, this nigga do X, Y, and Z, right? I also think it's kids that fuck with you that are like more vulnerable. You know what I mean? They come from households like maybe like yours or even more fucked up than yours, where it's like they need guidance in a sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say that like you supposed to be anybody's fucking the one to guide anybody. You know what I mean? You 17, but I do wonder like, damn, do you ever think about the fact that like, yo, it's kids that like that fuck with me, and just by me promoting this shit or promoting like this side of me and not showing them the other side that's really like, yo, smart and like calculated and like really, bro, to me you strike me as somebody that's too smart to do too much. That's the impression I get from you. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, you know when to turn it on and turn it off. You know, it's like, yo, like, I'll wild out, but like, I'm not gonna go this far. I fuck with this shit, but I'm not gonna go this far. But I feel like people don't see that side of you. You know what I mean? All they see is like the turn side. So yeah, all they see is the trolling shit. So
yeah.
So my question to you is like, damn, do you ever think like, yo, maybe that shit is affecting them in the wrong way or like influence them in a way that's like actually like harmful to them?
Nah, not really.
Nah.
I mean, I stopped mourning on that bullshit like a couple months ago, you know. I mean, all that Xanax and all that bullshit, I don't really fuck with none of that shit, you know. I put all that shit to the side, but not really. I don't really be thinking about that shit, you know.
Oh, this is what I want to ask when I was talking to you about, like, basically, like, yo, the first few songs, did they go? And I guess the reason why I asked that, I wanted to get an idea, like, your work ethic. You know what I mean? Like, when you work, are you working every day making new shit now? Or is it like, yo, you got your times where you get in? What's your work ethic like? Meaning, like, is it, yeah, like, is this shit so easy for you? It's like, yo, every time I go in, it's a fucking smash. Or is it like, yo, I really got to go in every day and like work at this shit and like try new ideas every day?
Yeah, like what you said, like I was going every day, you know. And he got mad. He was trying to fight me and shit, and then that's when I put strap out on him. And after I did that shit, like I just left my mom's crib, and never went back.
Did you ever feel like damn, why you like, almost like, why you choosing this dude over me? Like,
nah, yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
Did you ever ask her that, or tell her that?
Yeah, but she like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, fuck that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit, you know. I was just, fuck all that.
Damn, bro, that's deep.
Yeah.
You said 6th grade or 7th grade is when you start like smoking? It was like
Yeah.
sixth grade. Do you think that, like, you being more open to doing that shit? Cause you say that you like, man, ain't no big deal. Like, I'm just smoking weed, man, chill out. Like,
Yeah.
but like, it's a bunch of sixth graders. The majority of sixth graders is like, whoa,
What the fuck?
fuck. Like, these dudes in the bathroom is tripping, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck going on with them? When y'all would be like, y'all niggas square, like, y'all skip, boom. You know, is it possible that your stepfather coming around or your mom's boyfriend at that time coming around and then her, quote unquote, like choosing him could have been like the cause of leaving you open to like being more susceptible to like outside influences? Like, yo, these niggas smoking in the bathroom, fuck it, I'll try that shit. Like, was it, like, is that the point that you start? Okay, before that, were you, what's your name, your real name?
Gazzy.
Gazzy.
Yeah.
Before that, was Gazzy like a good kid, a smart kid, a kid that would be like, it would be a shock to people that you would end up being one of them kids in the bathroom, like, chiefing?
Not really.
Not really, okay.
Yeah, I just started doing this because I was like, fuck it.
Got it. I be trying to make connections that's maybe not there. You know what I mean? But
I mean, well, a lot of people, yeah, like, for sure. But I just did that shit just cause, like, I wanted to smoke. I was like, fuck it.
got it.
I never tried that shit, so. You know, people would be, I mean, we smoked before. You try that shit. Oh, fuck it. Shit's far.
Yeah, but I feel like, me personally, it's not like judging, but I feel like if I was more, if I had a more stable home, put it like that. I feel like if the household was more stable, I'd have been less susceptible to get into the shit that I got into. Same thing goes for my brother. And it's not like I got in some deep shit, but I feel like I was more susceptible to try shit as opposed to somebody that's coming from two-parent household, stable, no problems in the house, no abusive situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I might be making connections that don't exist. But my thought is like, damn. Like, put it like this. My son's smoking weed in the 6th grade in the bathroom. Like, I'm feeling like, yo, what's going on? Like, we got to talk. Like, you're going in the wrong direction. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you smoking cigarettes in the 6th grade in the bathroom, let alone you smoking weed. It's like, you know, it's like, what got you doing this? Because you said it. You seen your homeboy smoking. Yeah. It's not like you woke up one day like, I want to smoke weed today. Yeah. No, you saw your homeboys doing it, and was just like, fuck it, yeah, I'll try that. Boom, boom. But I feel like somebody that's coming from a healthier household, something that shit, I hope that one day I can provide for my kids, and hopefully, I'm sure you probably want to provide the same type of environment for your kids one day if you plan on having kids. Yeah. So it's like, what I think is like, from that environment, you put that same kid in that same bathroom, even if they is friends, they smoking weed, I feel like he gonna be like, I'm straight, like, I'm good. Yeah. We can still hang out, like, I ain't judging y'all, but like, I'm good on that, like, I'm alright. So I might be, you know, my bad, I'm trying to make connections that don't really go, but I'm hearing your story.
Those do go. I feel like everything people be going through, like, whatever, we went through, made us what we are today, you know, like, all that bullshit you go through. But if you didn't go through that shit, you gonna be where you are right now.
Right.
Probably, you know? That's how I look at it.
That's real. Before you started rapping? Like, what type of music did you like?
I used to listen to a lot of like Chief Keef and shit.
Word.
Yeah.
You love Chief Keef.
Yeah. Fuck bro hard. That's like who I looked up to and shit. I was like, man, if I
What was